810varsity.com welcomes you to week 4 of the Kansas 4A high school football season. Basehor Linwood, number 8 in the 810varsity.com top 25 poll presented to you by the Kansas City Command. They come into this one 3-0. They're going to host here on homecoming the Bonner Springs Braves, 1-2. Bonner Springs, they've stumbled out of the gate early going, but they did have a big win against Topeka Seaman.
Well, Aaron, first of all, it's wonderful to be back here. We got homecoming night. Fans are excited. Basehor Linwood is looking strong heading into this homecoming game. Tough couple road games coming up on the schedule. Important not to look past this Bonner Springs Braves team as we're getting ready to go here. Beautiful day for football.
Nate Mitchell will be the kicker for the Braves. He kicks this one. It's going to be taken right about the 5-yard line. Across the 5, up to the 10, to the 15, to the 30. It's Skylar Ross on the carry across the 40 all the way into Bonner Springs territory. Oh my, Skylar Ross saw an opening and he took it to the near side of the field.
Fantastic blocking up the field. That's always the key on these kickoff returns. Skylar Ross doing a good job fielding the kickoff cleanly, heading right to the sideline. Basehor Linwood clearly had a play set up where he would run along that sideline, already starting on the plus side of the 50. Good start for the old Bobcats.
Ross took that thing near the near side on the hash mark at about the 5-yard line, found a hole and was able to get across midfield where the ball now resides at the 49-yard line. Colin Murphy will come on after being injured in the fourth quarter of the Lansing game. Head coach Steve Hopkins said it was due to cramps. Sends a man in motion in Harbor. The pitch will go to Hiss. Hiss left side, up across the 45, maybe to the 43 on the carry.
And I like to see that. Starting off with a pitch, basically a run to Jesse Hiss. Jesse Hiss has kind of gotten lost in this offense a little bit. All of a sudden, Colin Murphy has become the go-to running back for this Bobcats team. I'd like to see them get Hiss involved a little bit more. He's a great running back.
Left halfback, the tight end, and Ben Johnson goes in motion. The handoff will go to Hiss. He'll get maybe back to the line of scrimmage before the play is blown dead there. It'll be 3rd and 4, 11:20 left to go. First quarter of play. We're just underway here at Basehor Linwood here on homecoming, where all the alumni come back in town for this one. They're bound to have a doozy of a game here today. Johnson in motion once again, shotgun formation. The handoff will go to be a quarterback keeper, and Murphy takes it. Near side, Murphy. He's got the first down and then maybe a yard, and they might try and get a horse collar tackle there.
Yeah, for sure. That was a very dangerous tackle right there. Murphy's looking to the referees right now, asking, hey, where's my flag at? Because he clearly was taken down by the back of his jersey, but the referees said, no, they're not having it, and it looks like this will be a 4th down and very short. Already a big decision for the Bobcats, but you'd have to imagine with a high-powered offense like Basehor Linwood has, they're probably going to go for it right here, and it appears that they are going to go for it. Joseph
Dooley was the man on the tackle. It looked like he brought the senior quarterback and Colin Murphy down by the back of his jersey. Nonetheless, it'll be 4th and about inches. Murphy goes under center. It'll be a handoff correction. It'll be a quarterback keeper. He pushes the pile, gets the first down, and then some before he's brought down by a handful of Braves.
That just goes right back to what I was saying before. Colin Murphy all of a sudden has become almost the go-to option in terms of running the ball for this Bobcats team. He's their power run. He's their option running. He's just doing everything for Basehor Linwood, and why not? He's a very talented runner coming into this game with 154 yards to his name.
Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. Handoff will go to Hiss. Hiss right up the middle, pushes the pile forward. He's got maybe about 5 yards. He'll be short of the first down, but nonetheless, good yardage on the first attempt.
And there you see the power of Jesse Hiss. He was stopped initially for about a gain of 3, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 yards, but he just kept those legs turning, able to turn to a very solid gain. Now it's only a 2nd down and about 4.
It'll be 2nd and 4, ball right about the 27-yard line of the Bonner Springs Braves. Shotgun formation, Hiss goes in motion, be a quarterback keeper. Murphy rolls out to his left side, looking downfield. He's got Drew Potter right at about the 10-yard line in the middle of the field. Potter was wide open. There wasn't anyone around him within about 5 yards.
Fantastic play design right there by Basehor Linwood. Had all the action initially going to the right side of the line. Then, as Murphy was rolling to his left, everyone was focusing on his brother Ryan Murphy going to the end zone. All alone in the middle of the field right there was Drew Potter for a very easy pitch and catch.
Drew Potter, the junior, will be a pass down, and there'll be a flag route. Oh, my. And it looks like they might have had defensive pass interference. The pass was intended for Ryan Murphy on the brother-to-brother connection.
Easy call right there. They had the play perfectly executed. Murphy was going to the back pylon. Great throw from his brother Colin. All the defender could do was rope him in, drag him down, and make them put the ball down at the 1-yard line.
The back judge is Dave Collins. He had the pass interference call right there as he was right in front of it. So it'll be a fresh set of downs. The ball, waiting to see where they place it. It looks like they're going to place it inside the 5-yard line, maybe about the 3 on the left hash mark. So the Bobcat defense or offense will come out once again. It'll be Potter in the backfield along with Murphy.
I say go right back to that play.
Potter goes in motion. 2 receivers to the far side, and Ben Johnson and Colin Murphy. Colin wants to throw. He had his brother Ryan right in the end zone to be a pass incomplete.
Well, that time they're trying the opposite. Before they tried to fade to the back pylon, that time they just wanted Ryan Murphy to use his big body, go across the field on the slant, use that big body, and box out his defender. Not really a great throw, though, from Colin Murphy.
Matt Call was on the coverage. Murphy will go under center, 2-step back, and Potter. It'll be a fumbled snap, and Bonner thought they had it, but there are some flags on the play.
Well, it looked like a Bonner player went across a little bit too soon right there.
Looks like we might have a false start on the defensive line. Basehor coming into this game 3-0. They've had 3 easy victories against the Piper Pirates, the Bishop Ward Cyclones, and a big win last week on the road against the Lansing Lions. Bonner Springs comes into this game 1-2. Their first win came in week 1 against Topeka Seaman. It was a game a lot of people thought this team couldn't win. Nonetheless, they find themselves down with a losing record.
Well, interestingly enough, last week they went and lost to Turner, which was a game people thought that Bonner Springs would be the underdogs in that, or probably would be the favorites, but they ended up getting blown out.
Murphy will take it under center, run right up the middle, and it looks like we're going to have a flag on the play. So before you get too excited about that Basehor touchdown, that one might be coming back. It was 2nd and goal. Murphy took it as a quarterback keeper, busted through the A-gap, and found his way in the end zone. And it will be a false start on the Bobcat offensive line. So we've seen penalties go against both teams. All right, now, the penalty advantage right now in Basehor's favor is just a 5-yard penalty. Nonetheless, one thing we were talking about earlier when we were on our way here is that Bonner Springs, they're a team that certainly likes to make a lot of penalties.
Yeah, it's certainly a very undisciplined team. Basehor Linwood can't get caught up in that type of game. They need to stay well coached, well executed as they have been all season long.
9:31, 2nd and goal. Be a flayed out to Ben Johnson. Johnson jumps over the coverage to grab the touchdown. It'll be a touchdown, Basehor. So right after the 5-yard offensive penalty, we're going to see fireworks here today as Ben Johnson was able to jump up and grab that one from the other senior and Colin Murphy.
Well, I was going to say after that penalty, all that penalty really did was give the Bobcats maybe a little bit more space to run their offense. You know they love those fade routes, so why not back it up a little bit, just put some more yards on Colin Murphy's throwing list, and great touchdown. That's what happens when you have 2 about 6'4" wide receivers flanking each side of the offensive line.
Garrett Kale will come on to kick it once again. The kick by Kale is up. It'll be right through. It's a high end over end kick, and it'll go right through the middle part of the uprights. Early going here at 810varsity.com. Basehor leads it on their first drive. It's a 50-yard drive for a touchdown, and it was capped off by a throw from Colin Murphy, a 7-yard throw from Colin Murphy to Ben Johnson in the back left part of the end zone.
Yeah, and great balance on that drive as well. They started off pounding the ball with Jesse Hiss. Then they started spreading it out a little bit. They had that big pitch and catch with Drew Potter to get them down into the red zone. Then once they were inside the 5, really, things kind of bogged down a little bit. But eventually, Basehor Linwood able to do what they wanted, got the touchdown, the old classic Basehor Linwood fade route to the back pylon, and they got their 7 points on the board to start off this game hot, as they basically have been all season long. Now, here comes the real question. We talked about this ad nauseum last game, and this whole kickoff situation. Have they worked on it in this last week of practice? Because before, they're basically giving the other team easy field position around the 40.
Back to return will be Darian Neal and Trevor Mason. Neal is on the right hash mark as Tyler Ogden comes on the kick. The ball right about the 40-yard line. The 2 back deeper right about the 5. It'll be a small squib kick by Ogden. It'll go out of bounds, and it'll call a flag.
Oh, good Lord. I'm not sure if they were maybe trying an onside kick to catch Bonner Springs off guard a little bit, but right there, that's probably not the time to do it, especially when you're trying to work out the kinks in your kicking game. Now you're just giving Bonner Springs even better field position than they potentially could have had with your kicking struggles.
The weather may be cooling down, but you can still keep a hot tan. Stop into Bass Tanning anytime and keep that glow all year long. Bass Tanning right across from Sonic on 40 Highway, 724-2288, where these beds are kept cool and tans are hot.
And now here comes the interesting part of this game, Aaron. New starting quarterback today for Bonner Springs, number 10, Jordan Jackson. Instead of the usual starter, Jourdain Smaller. We'll see how that affects this team.
Jordan Jackson, the sophomore quarterback, will come on and go under center. 2 set back, 2 receivers on the near side. The handoff will go to J.J. Jackson, the leading rusher. Jackson will work his way right across to maybe midfield and what might be a 2nd and 5.
And how often have we said this year? The defensive line for the Basehor Linwood Bobcats getting absolutely dominated on that initial play right there. Nice 5-yard pickup and making it a manageable second down here for the Braves.
One receiver to the near side is Mason Roberts. Shotgun formation here as Jackson rolls out to the right side. He's going to throw it. He almost got a first down. The intended receiver was J.J. Jackson, who caught the ball right at about the 47-yard line, and I think he had enough to get across.
Yeah, that's J.J. Jackson, actually the leading rusher for this Braves team, this time flashing out of the backfield, making that catch and picking up the first down for Bonner Springs.
So it'll be 1st and 10, new set of down for the Bonner Springs Braves. The receiver to the near side is Mason Roberts once again. Jackson going to go under center this time. He's got 2 setbacks, sends a man in motion, and J.J. Jackson. Handoff will go to Jackson. Jackson, far side, still on its feet, crosses a tackle before he's finally pushed out of bounds.
And great initial move at the line of scrimmage by J.J. Jackson. And it looked like right away they wanted to go through the offensive line. Bounced it right back out. Nice little cut move there. Able to find his way around the O-line and picking up a great gain on first down there.
Here in the early going, Bonner has been able to move the ball, which is something a lot of people were concerned about coming in. Shotgun formation, one in the backfield, 3 receivers set. The throw is going to be taken by Mason right about the 40-yard line. Trying to get up to the 35, still reaching for more yardage. He needed to get to the 34-yard line for the first down, but I think they're going to mark him dead right about the 35.
And great read right there by Tanner Garver. He saw the screen right away, came all the way from his safety position from across the field, and made that tackle, which it easily could have been a first down if it weren't for Tanner Garver.
Clock still ticking, 8:17 left to go. First quarter of play. Basehor Linwood ahead of this one, 7-0. It'll be 3rd and 1. As right now we're going to see Jackson go under center, deep setback. He's going to hand it off to J.J. J.J. had the first down, had the play not been blown dead.
I believe right here this can go back to what we were talking about, undisciplined play out of the Bonner Springs Braves. This is something they don't need if this actually does end up being a false start. Maybe I should hold my tongue for a second, see what the call actually is.
If it is a penalty against the Braves, it'll be the 4th one of the day, but this one looking like it might go against the Bobcat defense.
Yeah, they're moving this one forward, actually.
So it'll be an automatic first down for the Braves, and that's good news for them because they didn't quite have it on the previous play.
Strong start thus far for the Braves. They've really enforced their will on these first couple plays.
Jordan Jackson making his first start of the year, going to go up under center. 2 setback, 2 receivers to the near side, and Stevie Williams. Handoff will go. It'll go right up the middle, maybe a gain of 1. They needed to get to the 20-yard line. It'll go for a gain of 1. The ball will be marked right about the 29-yard line. 7:45 left to go. First quarter of play. 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard pickup. Jordan Jackson lines up under center. He's got his setbacks. And J.J. Jackson as well as Darian Neal. Neal is a deep back. Jackson going to roll out. Pocket quickly collapsing. He's going to take it himself across the 15 to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Bonner Springs. It looked like the whole gap was collapsing, but Jordan Jackson able to have the initiative to take it to the near side and rush for 6 points for Bonner Springs.
Well, they actually had him right there. Tanner Garver was all up in his face. It was ready to make the tackle, just slipped off him. And after Jackson was able to break that initial pressure, there was just nobody left in the Bobcat defense. Once Jackson was able to get past the line of scrimmage, past that blitz, easy run right there, and just really poor, sloppy tackling out of the Bobcats right there.
And how about that, making his first start this year, Jordan Jackson rushes for a 30-yard touchdown to even things up. Nate Mitchell will come on to be the kicker. It'll be held by the running back and J.J. Jackson. Clean snap, kick up by Mitchell, up and right through the uprights. And ladies and gentlemen, we got an even score here on homecoming night on the Basehor Linwood Bobcats home field. 7-7 is your score after a 30-yard touchdown by the young man in Jordan Jackson.
Well, Aaron, that's what happens when the other team starts right at the 45-yard line. We talked about how it would eventually come back to bite the Bobcats in the behind eventually, and that time it finally did. Well-executed drive right there by Bonner Springs, and they didn't even have that far to go. So if a team is clicking offensively, it could be a very tough evening for Basehor if they don't get these kicking issues sorted out soon.
Head coach Steve Hopkins said earlier in the week he thought the first couple of games were boring. They're about to get really interesting. He's got an interesting one on his hands here today. Skylar Ross as well as Alex Jackson will be back to return for the Bobcats special teams.
Now, Aaron, we saw this last week. Remember, they were in a little bit of a dogfight early on with the Lansing Lions, 7-7 then. all Basehor Linwood did was go on a 16-0 run to really put the game out of reach. So we'll see if they can respond in the same manner here in this game on homecoming.
Jackson and Ross are both back right about the 6-yard line of the Bobcats. Mitchell will come on to kick. It'll be a high, good end-over-end kick. This one will go into the end zone, and they're not even going to touch it. It'll be a touchback. How about that? Nate Mitchell is not very tall, maybe about 5'10". He's got a boot on him there.
Yeah, he really booted that one. Didn't even give Skylar Ross a chance to return that one. They just said, forget about that one. Watch his tail over their heads.
Here comes an offense that has put up nearly 40 points per game in their first 3 games, led by the Murphy twins and Colin and Ryan Murphy. And, of course, you can't forget about Ben Johnson's tribute last week.
No, absolutely. We always talk a lot about Ryan Murphy, but Ben Johnson's been the most solid, consistent receiver, actually, for this Basehor Linwood team. He's got more touchdowns than Ryan Murphy.
The Bobcats' second drive of the day will start with 7:21 left to go as a handoff will go to Jesse Hiss, far side. He'll get across the line of scrimmage and work his way to the 25-yard line before the play finally ends.
And Aaron, you've talked about a couple times this year how Jesse Hiss is being pretty heavily recruited by a couple D1 programs, and I can see exactly why. Great job right there. He always falls forward, which is something you'll always hear. He'll get tackled, but always get a couple extra yards by falling forward.
Shotgun formation. Colin Murphy looks near side. He's got his brother Ryan Murphy on the flag route. He wanted to get him right about the 45-yard line. The ball was overthrown as Joseph Dooley was on the coverage.
I mean, you never really want to hound on the kid, but it kind of looked like Ryan Murphy pulled up or started jogging a little bit earlier than he should have. Colin Murphy, granted, the throw is not perfect, but Ryan certainly could have tried a little bit harder to run underneath that one and maybe make a diving attempt at it.
3 receivers set to the near side. Murphy rolls out, almost gets caught in the backfield, keeping it himself, breaks off 1 tackle, still on his feet, across the 25 up to the 29. He almost had a first down. He needed to get to the 30-yard line. Didn't quite get there, but how about the awareness of the senior quarterback?
Well, it was great awareness, certainly. We saw it last time with Jordan Jackson just a couple plays ago, but right now, again, another 4th down and short. Except this time you're backed up in your own territory, and it looks like they are going to go for it once again.
Right now you're listening to 810varsity.com. It'll be 4th and 1. Ball on the 29-yard line. Head coach Steve Hopkins showing he's got some here today. The handoff will go. It'll be Skylar Ross near side. He's got enough for the first down and then some. Breaks off a tackle, works his way to the 40, maybe to the 41.
Well, I don't know why it's ever even an option. If you're going to get blocking that great on every run play, all you have to do is pitch out to your running back. Great job by Ben Johnson, the other wide receivers on this side, clearing out their defenders. And Skylar Ross had miles of green to run through. Good job by the Bonner Springs defense to gang tackle and get Ross down before it became an even bigger gain.
6:08 left to go, first quarter play. Pitch to Jesse Hiss, far side. Gets caught in the backfield, still trying to work his way back to the line of scrimmage. Didn't quite get there. The play will go for a loss of 1.
That time Orlando Young blowing up the play in the backfield. Great job. Just poor blocking. Not much more you can say than that.
Tie game here in the early going, 7-7. Colin Murphy had to throw it to Ben Johnson in the back of the end zone. That's how the Bobcats scored. And then the Braves scored on a 30-yard run by Jordan Jackson. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the near side. Murphy wants to throw. He's got his brother streaking down the field. Throw, and it's going to be intercepted. It's going to be intercepted. Let's see. Oh, never mind. They're going to say it was an incomplete pass. It looked like.
No, they're saying it's a catch, Aaron. They're saying Ryan Murphy made that catch, and they're moving the ball all the way past the 30-yard line.
It did not look like he came down with that at all. Instead, it looked like that Matt Call, the linebacker, came down with it.
I heard the roar of applause. I thought it was because they were applauding Ryan Murphy for playing some good defense right there.
Nonetheless, Murphy rolls out, wants to throw down long. He's got Ben Johnson left side, almost picked off by number 10 and Jordan Jackson. So the quarterback that makes a great 30-yard run, playing some defense as well.
I'll tell you what, Basehor Linwood right now needs to get a little bit more creative in their passing options because Bonner Springs is all over these deep fade routes. They've always had a safety shaded over to each receiver. You got the strong and free safety. All they're doing, all their responsibility is making sure these 2 wide receivers, Ben Johnson and Ryan Murphy, don't go deep. It's been a double team every time.
Drew Potter and Skylar Ross are in the backfield as Ross replaces Jesse Hiss, the senior. The pitch will go to Ross. Ross left side, gets through a gap, gets through the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up 4 yards. Clock still ticking, though. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left to go. First quarter of play, 7-7 tie here in the early going. Here on homecoming, alumni all in town here, wanting to get a good show today. Bonner's certainly giving that here in the early going. So it'll be 3rd and 7, long 3rd down attempt. Ross goes in motion. It'll be a quarterback keeper, and the play will be blown dead.
That's got to be an illegal shift, I'm pretty sure, on Skylar Ross.
It's got it, and it looks like it'll go against Basehor, so they'll back him up 5 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 12. So it goes from manageable third down quickly, could become third and very long.
And all of a sudden, all of a sudden, Basehor Linwood has turned into Bonner Springs. We talked about how undisciplined the Braves are. Well, the Bobcats have actually shot themselves in the foot a couple times. One time inside the 5, and now making their lives a little bit more difficult in this third down.
3rd and 12. Murphy wants to throw. Deep fade route down. He's got his brother Ryan Murphy. Did he come up with it? They're going to say it's an incomplete pass. Ryan Murphy actually caught it, but he wasn't able to get a foot in bounds. As right there, as Matt Call was on the coverage. Matt Call has been there in the early going for every play. It'll be 4th down, and it looks like head coach Steve Hopkins is going to keep the offense out on there. They need 12 yards for the first down. 3 receivers to the near side, and Potter and Murphy are 2 of them. Murphy wants to throw, looking downfield, got a receiver over, throws it, and is almost picked off by Jordan Jackson in the end zone. Jackson had the awareness to let it just fall. It'll be a turnover on downs, and the Bonner Springs Braves offense will come out, and they'll have the ball right at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good job by Jackson not to make the interception. They actually gained about 10 to 15 yards. But I completely agree with that 4th down call. You're in sort of no man's land, too soon or too close to punt, too far to kick a field goal, and we already know about the struggles of the kicking unit. However, if you know you're going to go for it on 4th down, try to get some more yards on 3rd down, on 3rd and 12, and make it an easier 4th down conversion for you.
2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near, as Justin Witt goes in motion. It'll be a handoff, goes to the middle of the field, still working. Didn't quite get to the line of scrimmage. It looks like they might have got a gain of 1 on the play. J.J. Jackson was the man on the carry. J.J. Jackson is a halfback, and Jordan Jackson is a quarterback. So if you're wondering why we're calling that last name Jackson, it's not because we're lazy. It's because literally they got the last name Jackson all over the place.
Aaron, you're the hardest working man in A10 varsity broadcasting.
Weston Vitt near side. Handoff will go to be JJ. JJ works near side, still on his feet, across the 40, almost to the 45. It'll be enough for a first down, and they'll keep the chains moving for the Braves.
And Aaron, we've got a little bit of a recurring issue now going on for the Bobcats, going back even to last week. Some poor tackling. We saw that last week until they finally started going and gang tackling and tackling as a group. Right now, they're still kind of struggling, slipping off that running back.
So it'll be 1st and 10, ball on the near side, 44-yard line. Jackson calls out the play, looks to the far side, going to throw. He's got JJ, almost caught it, correction. There's Stevie Williams. Stevie Williams reached out with his right arm and was able to corral it in. He got maybe to the 47-yard line. It'll be good gain on first down.
That was actually a fantastic catch right there by Stevie Williams. Initially, it looked like a pretty bad throw by Jackson, but just enough loft on it, and then Williams just getting his hand up there, making the catch. Minimal gain, but it's better than nothing.
It'll be a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6, shotgun formation for the Braves. 3:22 left to go, first quarter play. Flag on the play. Jackson looking to throw, still with the ball, going to be on his feet, across the 50, up to the 48. Before he's finally tripped up and brought down. 3:14 left to go, 7-7 tie, first quarter of play. How about the play of Jordan Jackson here in the early going?
Yeah, it's sort of reminding me a little bit of last week with Joe Schneider, the dual threat quarterback who's good enough to make the throws, but he's so dangerous with his feet that he's giving this Bobcats defense fits.
It'll bring it back 5 yards. It looks like they got the offensive line to jump. So it'll be 2nd and 11. Ball right about the 40. Looks like they'll mark it right about the 44-yard line. So 2nd and long after the Braves shoot themselves in the foot here in the early going. It's about the 6th penalty going against the Braves, and we've only gone through 1 quarter of play. Shotgun formation, both Jackson in the backfield, 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Jackson pump fake, gonna throw, hit as he throws, gonna throw it. Williams was the intended receiver. It was just overthrown, but how about Jordan Jackson able to get the ball off before he was thrown? Jesse Hiss was on the rush.
Yeah, Jackson took an absolute lick right there from Jesse Hiss. Very dangerous throw. If you're Jackson, you're maybe better served not throwing that ball. He got away with it. But the ball, it could have very easily been intercepted. Kind of a bad route or a bad read by the defensive back. It could have been a much easier interception.
Big third down for the Braves right here. 3rd and 11. Ball right about the 44-yard line of their own territory. They need to get to the 46-yard line of Basehor to get a first down. Jackson barks out the play. Shotgun formation. Drops back. Looking to throw. Hit as he throws. But he lost it up in the air. Stevie Williams. Oh my. Zach Smith was the man on the coverage right there, tipped it away right before it had a chance to get to Stevie Williams. Williams was cutting across on the far side of the field. He had a slant route, And Zach Smith, with the authority, a man that had 2 interceptions last week, was able to bat it down.
Yeah, you said it. Zach Smith has really come on strong in that defensive backfield for the Bobcats. 4 interceptions on the season, 2, as you said, last week. He's been a vulture in the backfield, picking off everything that's in his way. That time, just doing a good job of picking or knocking down the pass.
And there was a flag on the play, as it's going to be an automatic first down for the Braves. Not sure if it was maybe a false start on the defense or if they got pass interference. $5 footlong subs are back, ladies and gentlemen, at Mr. Goodson's. 7 great subs to choose from. Come see what fresh really is at Mr. Goodson's. So it'll be 1st and 10, under 3 minutes left to go. First quarter of play. Ball right about the 41-yard line. Jackson goes under the center for the first time today. Hands it off to JJ. JJ works across the 40 to the 38 before he's brought down.
Aaron, going back to that last play, I didn't even see a flag. I'm not actually sure what it was, but Basehor Linwood being a little undisciplined right there. They had that easy stop right there, then out of nowhere a flag. I'm guessing maybe a roughing the passer even, because it definitely was not pass interference.
Jackson was hit as he was throwing.
Maybe driving him into the ground.
So it could have been an over-excessive call. Jackson going to line up under center. He's got J.J. Jackson in the backfield, along with number 27 and Danielle Neal. The handoff will go. He can't get it quite away, and he might have dropped it on the play. J.J. Jackson was the ball carrier on. He was wrapped up in the backfield before he ever had a chance to get going.
And Aaron, what we're seeing right now is that the Bobcats are starting to bring a little bit more pressure on these plays. They weren't getting to the quarterback initially, so now they're dialing up the pressure. They're stopping everything in the backfield. They're making Jackson's life much more difficult right now.
If you're just now tuning in, welcome into 810varsity.com's coverage of Basehor Linwood football. Score right now, first quarter play, under 2 minutes left to go. 7-7 tie. J.J. Jackson, or correction, Jordan Jackson's even things up on a 30-yard run by the Braves. Jackson looks as he's throwing, rolling out far side, still looking down the field, doesn't have anything. Ooh, correction, the intended receiver is number 82, and Mason Roberts. Mason Roberts kind of caught it on the ground. It looked like it might have been an incomplete pass.
Definitely a catch right there. Good call by the ref, but this brings up another 4th down. And they're, once again, Bonner is now in that no man's land. They got to go for it right here.
4th and 5. Jackson looks near side.
Jeez.
Flags all over the play, as it looks like it's going to go against the offensive line of the Braves.
Aaron, this game could go on for 5 hours, especially at this rate.
It hasn't been a quick first quarter of play at all. So to back it up 5 yards, it'll be 4th and 10 from right about the 40-yard line.
We've already said that's about the 7th or 8th penalty already on Bonner Springs. Mix that in with the Bobcat penalties. We're going to be here for a while, but I don't even want to know how many penalties the Braves are going to have by the end of this night. They're definitely going to break 20 at this pace.
1:13 left to go. Big 4th down. Jackson looks far side. Going to throw it. Going to throw it long. He's got a receiver, and he overthrows it to Stevie Williams, the intended receiver. Williams had Smith beat by about 2 or 3 steps.
No, he was wide open. Definitely a breakdown in the secondary right now. Just as Jackson was releasing that pass, he got hammered once again. So they're leaving their mark on Jackson, and if it wasn't for that pressure in his face, that we may be talking about a 14-7 ball game right now, favoring the Braves.
So it'll be a turnover on downs here in the early going. 1:03 left to go, first quarter of play. Even game here at 7-7 apiece. Bonner Springs came into this game 1-2. The Bobcats are one of 14 teams in the 810 varsity top 25 that remain undefeated. Looking to keep it that way here on homecoming. Murphy goes under center, hands it off to Potter. Potter works far side, wiggles his way for a couple more yards, maybe picked up 5 on a play that looked like he had nothing.
And we talked about with Jesse Hiss how he follows forward, and again, now it's Drew Potter. These 2 running backs, or maybe you could call Potter a fullback for Basehor Linwood, but they're very powerful with the ball. They'll knock you around. They'll make you feel it as you try to tackle them, and they always gain an extra yard or 2 as they're going down. It's great to see.
Pick up a 4 on the play. Skylar Ross, lone man in the backfield with Murphy. Murphy decides to keep it himself. Going to throw near side. Had Ben Johnson, the junior, tight end. Johnson almost caught it. It basically just fell out of his hands. And Jonas, that's a catch you need to have if you're going to make plays in this Cobb Valley League.
No, absolutely. Usually the very sure-handed Ben Johnson dropping an easy screen pass. But it is good to see them finally mixing things up a little bit in the passing game, trying to get this Bonner Springs defense a little back on their heels. I like that, but Ben Johnson definitely needs to make that catch.
3rd and 6, shotgun formation, pick punt throw by Murphy. Murphy has a receiver right about the 50, enough for a first down, still on his feet, across the 40 to the 45. Ball was chipped up and taken out of his hands. Now it looks like it will be enough for a first down to the Bobcats to retain possession.
And you see why I say just get the ball in the hands of these wide receivers. They're big, they're strong, they're pretty shifty, actually. They can make some plays when they have the ball. There's no need just to run them down the field, 30 yards downfield. Let them make the catch and work their magic. They're big, strong guys who can easily pick up that first down by themselves.
So it'll be 1st and 10, ball 31-yard line, under 30 seconds left to go, first quarter of play. Murphy hit in the backfield, he's going to be brought up and sacked. Murphy wanted to throw to the near side, but he didn't have enough time to make the play.
And that goes right back to what I was saying. Too much time waiting for his receivers to go downfield. If you just break off the receivers' routes in a curl, you have an easy catch, an easy first down. And now we're talking about a second down at about 14, and Colin Murphy looks like he's shaken up once again.
Javante Young was the man on the coverage. He was able to wrap up the senior quarterback. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, end of first quarter of play. And what do you know? We got a game here in the early going at Beatty Field. 7-7 tie, first quarter of play. Jonas, what is one of the things that's really impressed you about Basehor and Bonner here in the early going?
Well, I love the way that Bonner Springs is actually running their offense, or at least how they ran it on their first drive. They made everything quick, all quick drives, all quick handoffs. On that second drive, however, they took a couple more 5 to 7 step drops, making it very easy for the Basehor Linwood defense to get right in the face of Jackson and mess up his throws. If they can get back to the screens, if they can get back to the quick handoffs, I think Bonner Springs is in a good situation. On the flip side for Basehor Linwood, they just don't look interested right now. We've seen a drop right there by Ben Johnson. We've seen some sloppy tackling. I think if Basehor Linwood gets their head in the game, everything should be okay, but they better do it quickly because now we're already in the second quarter and we're still in the dogfight.
Quick scoring summary for the Bobcats. It was a 7-yard play on a connection from Colin Murphy to Ben Johnson, who was in the back part left by the left pylon in the back of the end zone. For the Bonner Springs Braves, how they scored is a 30-yard gash by newly crowned quarterback Jordan Jackson. Jackson broke about 2 tackles on the play before finally finding his way into the end zone. So it'll be 2nd and 16, ball at the 42 of Bonner Springs. It'll be shotgun formation. Ben Johnson is the receiver on the near side. Trips receivers to the far. Going to be taken. Murphy looking far side. Rush in the background. Going to catch it to throw it across the 35, across the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Did he get in? He might have been pushed out right about the 1. It won't be enough for a touchdown. Oh, my. But how about the catch and run by Dalton Mealy?
How about Dalton Mealy? You usually see him in the middle of the defense mashing faces in the middle linebacker spot. That time coming out of the backfield, making the catch and run. You see that linebacker closing speed. And again, shaking up the offense. I love it on the screen pass. I'm a big fan of his good screen pass.
Head coach Steve Hopkins certainly put a rabbit out of his hat on that one. The handoff will go to Potter, and he'll rumble and bumble his way for a Bobcat touchdown. Oh, my. Dalton Mealy certainly set that one up, though, on the little screen pass after Colin Murphy looked to be rushed from the backfield.
Yeah, that screen pass is actually something we've seen the Bobcats get away from this season. Remember last year with Stur Stubenrock, they ran that screen pass to perfection, and it helps when you have Stur Stubenrock making that catch. But why not keep going to? You still have talented running backs. I'd like to see that screen pass implemented a little bit more as the season goes on than Drew Potter down the goal line.
13-7, Bobcats on top. They'll come out, try for the 2-point conversion. It'll be a quarterback keeper. Murphy breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet, throws. Oh, and he can't quite get it. The intended receiver was number 41 in Drew Potter. So the man who scored the touchdown was the man that was trying to get the 2-point conversion. Nonetheless, big play power by the Bobcat offense. So it's 2nd and 16. They were able to pull a rabbit out of their hat on that one.
Well, we know this Bobcat team is not exactly a football team that's just going to grind out a drive. We know they love the big play. They're always going to get themselves down to around the 10, around the 5-yard line with a big pass play or a long run. And we saw it right there.
Nick and Jake's Real Food on a String. Nick and Jake's, the proud sponsor of 810varsity.com, located in Parkville on the Parkville Commons and in Overland Park on 135th Street. Or visit us online at nickandjakes.com. 13-7, Bobcats on top as Tyler Ogden will come out to kick. 2 in the backfield are Trevor Mason. It'll be a squib kick to the near side. It'll go out of bounds once again. It'll be the second one on the day where Tyler Ogden has been too scared to kick.
Honestly, I have no idea what they're doing. I can't even analyze that. It looks like an onside kick, but they're not lining up in an onside formation. If you're going to be doing this, why not just pop it up like you were before? Honestly, I'm at a loss for words. I have no idea what the Bobcats are doing these days on their kickoffs.
Trevor Mason and Darian Neal with the 2 back deep. They were back at about the 5-yard line. Nonetheless, The Braves are going to start with great field position once again as they pick this ball up right at the 45-yard line of their own.
Why would you want your other team just to start out on the 45-yard line? It's honestly boggling my mind at this point.
Stevie Wilson and Mason Robish to the near side. The handoff will go to the setback. Oh, my, they went to J.J. Jackson. The Bobcat defense read that one perfectly. Oh, my, he didn't even have a chance on that one as Alex Schumann, the senior, was the man on the tackle.
Again, starting to bring a little bit more pressure along that front line, making life very difficult. Ever since we first noticed the fact that they were dialing up the pressure on that Bobcats defense, it's been very tough for the Bonner Springs Braves to get a lot of positive plays.
And it looks like it'll be 2nd and 15. They marked forward progress by J.J. Jackson. You can hear the crowd wanted him marked back all the way at about the 30-yard line. Jackson will go under center. He'll keep it himself. Still rushing the backfield. Running for his life to the near side. Looking downfield. Breaks the tackle. Works his way back up to the 40-yard line, though. Oh, my. Jordan Jackson had no time as the pocket quickly collapsed.
Again, Schumann was the man applying the pressure right there. Alex Schumann, a positive influence here in the second quarter, creating a lot of havoc for the Bonner Springs Braves, and now they have a very tough 3rd down and 16. The Bobcats need to be careful. No big plays. Don't let anyone get behind you.
That'll be 3rd and a mile as Stevie Williams as well as Joe Dewey are the 2 receivers on the near side. The fullback of the backfield with Jackson is J.J. Jackson. Jordan Jackson is the quarterback. 4 receivers set, 2 to the far, 2 to the near. Jordan looking to throw, looks near side, still looking downfield, going to throw it, and he's going to overthrow his intended receiver in J.J. Jackson. Jackson was the intended receiver, but Jordan threw into triple coverage.
See, the important thing about creating a defensive stand on 1st and 2nd down is that you get them in these long 3rd downs, and we've seen that when Bonner Springs drops back in these long 5 to 7 step drops, even sort of along the lines of a 12-step drop, it's very easy for this Bobcat defense to pin their ears back and go right after the quarterback because they know what's going to happen.
Dalton Mealy, Zach Smith, as well as Garrett Hale were the 3 on the coverage there for the Bobcat defense. Punt formation, J.J. Jackson is the punter for this Bonner Springs team. Comes out to be Skylar Ross right back at about the 25-yard line. He'll let it bounce right about the 32, and it'll keep bouncing until it's finally blown dead. It looks like they'll let it die right about the 24-yard line.
Guess what? There's a flag on the play.
Oh, my. And we've certainly seen a bevy of those here in the early going, as I think Bonner Springs is now up over 10 flags on the day.
It is against the Braves, though.
It'll be a false start on the offensive line for the Braves. So it'll back it up 5 more yards, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, I think they're going to make him repunt here, which is a good decision. And this is high school. You don't have any professional punters. Maybe you get a shank, maybe get a poorly punted ball, and Skylar Ross can get underneath one and get some great field position out of this one. Skylar
Ross was originally back right at about the 20-yard line. He since has moved up to about the 31 as J.J. Jackson will come on to punt it once again. 10:41 left to go, second quarter of play. The Bobcat offense will come on one more time after this play. 13-7 as they're just able to get a big scoring drive led by Dalton Mealy as well as Drew Potter. Punt formation, Jackson. It's a booming kick, gets it off his foot. Ross can be able to take this one, hit directly as he catches it before he's quickly brought down. Oh my, Mason Roberts was the man on the coverage right there that was able to put a big shoulder into Skylar Ross.
Now, as the Bobcats offense is coming back out here, I've sort of been criticizing them a little bit for going deep a little bit too much, but right now, I feel like this is the time to maybe take a shot downfield. You're in pretty good field position. It's only 1st down. You have downs to work with. Why not maybe try to stick that nail or step on the throat a little bit of the Braves? Really send a statement right here.
Murphy going to go under center. He's got one in the backfield, and Jesse Hiss going to keep it himself. Looking far side, going to throw middle of the field. Has Ben Johnson right about the 50-yard line. Ben Johnson hit right as he caught it. Was able to push the pile forward a little more.
Yeah, right. Good call by me, huh? But again, perfectly executed play. Going with the play action right there. Bonner Springs expecting the run on 1st down, as you usually should. Always think run first. But well executed play action right there from Colin Murphy. Ben Johnson, the tight end. We haven't seen him line up as a tight end very often this season, but just running right down the middle of the field. Great pitch and catch.
Jordan Jackson, the quarterback, now coming in to play defense, was the man on the coverage right there. He was just trying to basically hold on to the big 6'6", 213 frame. Hiss going to run this one, or correction, Potter going to run this one right up the middle. Works his way across the 40 to the 42. 10:03 left to go. Clock still ticking on the run play. 13-7 is your score. Second quarter of play here on a beautiful, beautiful fall evening in Basehor, Kansas. Two-step back formation as Hiss is going to be a pitch to the far side. Hiss across the 40 to the 35, still on his feet across the 30, works his way to the 25 before he's brought down by Jose Contreras, the linebacker.
And the crowd screaming right now for a late hit out of bounds on the far side over there as Jesse Hiss was going out of bounds. But again, another strong run by Jesse Hiss. And truly, the offensive line is doing a fantastic job of blocking for him. He's just breaking tackles and making people feel it as he goes right through them.
Jose Contreras was the man on the coverage right there that finally wrapped up the senior halfback in Jesse Hiss. Murphy going to throw near side. Ben Johnson alone in the end zone. Jumps up and catches it. Touchdown, Bobcats! Oh, my. And what was a 7-7 game at the end of the first quarter, quickly getting out of hand here in the second quarter of play as you see the fireworks on the big catch and throw by Colin and Ben Johnson.
That time the safety was a little late getting over there on the double team. It was actually Jordan Jackson. But Aaron, this is exactly like last week. 7-7 ball game. Now all the Bobcats have done is they've gone and reeled off 12 straight. Probably going to try to make it 14 here. But good job reacting to adversity. 2 weeks in a row, really.
What was looking could have been like a lackluster performance of the Bobcat offense in the early half has finally caught fire. Throw deep in the end zone. Ryan Murphy catches it. 2-point conversion good. So they make up for the one they missed last time. It'll be a 21-7 game in the Bobcats' favor. If you're just now joining us, you've missed a good game here on 810varsity.com. Number 8 in the 810varsity.com top 25 poll. Basehor Linwood catching fire here, second quarter of play, as they've now scored 14 unanswered points in the early going. 21-7, 9:36 left to go as a 5-play scoring drive for the Bobcat offense. Tyler Ogden will come out to kick once again. He has flipped it twice here today, and they both have gone for penalties.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about the kicking game right now. But again, Bobcats just doing what they do best. Just a little flare routes to their huge wide receivers. But at that time, it was poor execution by the Bonner Springs Braves, especially on the touchdown catch by Ben Johnson. I said it was Jordan Jackson was the strong safety on that play. Just a little bit late. Because if you are still going one-on-one with Ryan Murphy and Ben Johnson, they're going to make that catch.
The sun has gone down and the lights are now turned on here at Beatty Field. The ball will go across the 40 to the 35. And no one had a chance to return that one. So the Braves are going to start with their worst field position of the day, and it's still a pretty good one. They'll start right at about the 35.
Aaron, I did not realize actually that the rule here in Kansas, or at least for high school football here in Kansas, is that if the ball goes out of bounds, that's where it's going to be placed. If that's the case, I guess it's sort of a genius move by Hawkins, because that's about as good as field position, or as good as you can get for your kicking game. But still, that's as good as you can get. Still, not the best thing in the world.
21-7, second quarter of play, 9:36. The Braves will come out. They'll start their third drive. The sophomore quarterback in Jordan Jackson lines up under center, and he's going to be heading. He might have been a fumble on the play.
Well, Braves picked it up, but
there was an initial fumble on the play. Someone fell on it and kept the Bobcat offense off the field, and that's a big play by the offensive line.
Yeah, we've been talking about how it's important to make plays on first and second down for the defense especially. But right now, Bonner Springs looking a little bit rattled. Remember, they don't have their usual starting quarterback out there.
Patrick Ballard was the man who finally fell on the ball and kept possession for the Braves. Jackson under center. He's got two in the backfield as Trayvon Mason and J.J. Jackson are alone. Play will be blown dead. It'll be a flag on the play. They can get a good look at it. Jonas, you got any idea?
Yeah, that's offsides on the Bobcats.
It'll be offside.
Neutral zone infraction.
It'll be a neutral zone infraction on the Bobcat defense. It'll push it 5 yards ahead. It'll be 2nd and 6. Ball right at about the 39-yard line. 9:05 left to go. 21-7 game in the favor of the Bobcats. Jackson needing to rally the troops here in the early going. Going under center. Still Trayvon Mason as well as J.J. Jackson in the backfield. Two receivers to the near side. One to the far. He's right about the 39-yard line. That'll be Stevie Williams and Mason Roberts, the two receivers on the near side. Williams goes in motion. The far side of your screen. Jackson will take it, run right up the middle as Basehor now just starting to really crowd the box. They know what Bonner's going to do.
Yeah, you said they're really making things difficult along the line of scrimmage. They've decided the way to win this game, or at least win the defensive battle, is stack that line of scrimmage, make it very tough to get through that line. They're going to make Bonner Springs beat them through there, and that's usually the route we've seen this defense take through their first three victories, and it certainly worked so far. especially when they're doing great on first and second down.
The Bobcat faithful, as you can hear, chanting defense, trying to get the young guys up and going. It'll be a bot snap. Jackson trying to recover it, rolls out to the far side. He had an intended receiver in Williams on the near side part of your screen as the ball was just overthrown.
Again, I don't know why Bonner Springs has gone away from the quick plays. On their first drive, they're going quick screen plays, quick handoffs, and it's working perfectly. Now they're going right back into the 5-step drop and making it just too easy for the Bobcats. If they want to get back into this game, a 21-7 ball game, they can't keep going with the traditional routes.
It'll be 4th and 5, as you won't see the Braves offense stay out there much longer. Skylar Ross, as well as, I believe, Tanner Garver, right back at about the 43. Ross, it'll be a line drive punt. It'll bounce at about the 30, work its way across the 25 to the 20 to the 19, and a good punt by J.J. Jackson keeps Skylar Ross from catching it, but pins the Bobcat offense back inside their own 20.
A little rugby-style kick right there. Get the ball rolling. If you can get the momentum on the ball, you can get it inside the 20. Good use of it right there by the punter, J.J. Jackson.
Basehor has a chance to really put this one out of reach if they can put together a scoring drive here. Bobcat fans, check out the game night special from Simple Simons. A free medium one-topping pizza with a purchase of a large specialty. Yes, a free medium pizza from Simple Simons with a large specialty. Carry out only. Special only good on Bobcat football game nights. As the handoff will go. Murphy rolls out to the far side, looking downfield, has Johnson right about the 30, bobbles it, works his way to the near side, still on his feet, breaks one tackle, 45, 50, fans on their feet, across the 40 to the 35, 30, 25. Oh my, Ben Johnson caught that ball all the way back about the 45. He was able to stay on his feet, breaking tackle after tackle, and we got a man down right at about the 34-yard line. Oh my, how about the big play potential of the junior tight end and Ben Johnson?
That just goes right back to what I was saying. Get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. You've got Ryan Murphy and Ben Johnson, two huge players. If you just get them the ball, they can make guys miss. And forget about making people miss. They can just run through people. So good job right there by Ben Johnson, using his big frame for the big play.
Joe Dooley, the wide receiver and defensive back for this Braves offense and defense, is the man that was down. He is being helped off the field, and it looks like it might be something with his arm, as he is keeping his left arm perpendicular with the shoulder pads. Joe Dooley is a big loss on not only the defensive side of the ball, but the offensive side of the ball for the Braves if he can't go.
Well, this has been one of the guys that's been asked to cover Ryan Murphy and Ben Johnson. Initially, he was doing a pretty good job, but that was when they had the safety help. Now, the Bobcats have started to go with a little bit more with the underneath routes, and without him there, sticking to the backs, sticking to the jerseys of Murphy and or Johnson, this defense got a little bit more weaker, and it's going to be an even more uphill battle.
Again, if you want to get some Simple Simons Pizza here on game night, call 913-724-4141 and place your order now. Or you can visit them at BasehorSimpleSimons.com. Got great pizza over there. Highly recommend that you check it out.
Do they deliver to press boxes?
Nah, I think they might. It'll be a pitch to Hiss on the near side. Hiss still running across the feet on a 10, still on his feet across the 5 to the 3 before he's pushed out of bounds. How about that? The big, powerful back, and Jesse Hiss just refusing to feel the turf there on that one.
Well, the tackling technique for the Braves certainly has left them, especially in the second quarter. That's why it's important to make sure your playmakers have the ball. I'm going to be saying the same thing all night long, Aaron, but it's true, especially when Bonner Springs can't tackle very well.
Play KC's most popular 4-man scramble as the handoff would be a quarterback keeper up the middle. Murphy reaching across the goal line. Did he get it? Touchdown, Basehor. And oh my, what was quickly a game at the end of the first quarter is slowly but surely gotten out of hand.
And now it's turned into a 20-0 run. Again, going back to last week, at least when Basehor Linwood has been in the face of adversity, they've responded. And that's good, especially against lesser teams. But still, good job by the Bobcats. It's now 27-7. You got yourself a 20-point lead. Probably going to be 21 in just a second. But good job. Again, the Braves came here to play initially, but Basehor Linwood really
the two-point conversion is Trevor will throw to the end zone. Did he have anyone? It was Zach Hevel, the holder, and they throw into the end zone. It'll be a good two-point conversion. They caught everyone, including myself, off guard on that one.
Well, that's what happens when you have a quarterback. Your backup quarterback is the holder. It was clever, but maybe you don't exactly show all your hand in now a 29-7 ball game. But I like that play. I didn't even get to see it.
29-7, 7:21 left to go. Second quarter of play, and this one quickly becoming a blowout here at Beatty Field on a beautiful fall evening. Not only is it a beautiful evening, but it's homecoming night. The homecoming festivities will take place right at halftime. We'll leave the camera on here so you can watch those in case you got maybe a daughter or a son that have been nominated queen or prince or king.
I wish I was nominated. I think we would win, Aaron. You and I are very likable people, if I do say so myself.
I don't know. My high school days, I wasn't necessarily considered
you were
hot
loved.
commodities. Gage Weiser is the new kicker now for the Bobcats. He comes out, he kicks. It'll be a high soft kick. It'll be taken at the 30. Cuts back near side, across the 35, still on his feet, across the 40, works his way to the 45 on the far side before he's brought down. Gage Weiser actually kept one in bounds, though, on that one.
Yeah. I'd rather talk about your high school days, Aaron, instead of talking about these kickoffs again.
They weren't that good. I actually went to a rival high school in Kansas City Piper High School. Graduate of the 2008 class. Back then, we weren't too good at football.
At which school, Aaron?
Kansas City Piper.
That's right. Not a horrible program. Solid, if not spectacular. No Basehor Linwood, though.
No Basehor Linwood as they find themselves 3-0 and they find themselves up 29-7 here. Jackson going to hold it off. He'll pitch it to JJ, who runs it right up the middle. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2 is right now. The Bonner Springs offense is really becoming one-dimensional, and they're not necessarily trusting the pocket to let Jordan Jackson throw. They're just doing a quick handoff to their leading rusher in JJ, and he's not able to get anything as he's just trying to bust through the A-gap.
They got to soften up the defense somehow, because right now the Bobcat defense is gunning for Jordan Jackson, pardon me. They're just gunning for him and saying, beat us with a deep pass if you want. Nothing's going to be happening with the run, but if they can soften up this defense a little bit, that'd probably behoove the Braves.
It'll be 2nd and 8. It'll be a fumble right there, and it'll be picked up by Baser. Oh, my. On the switch between Jordan Jackson and J.J. Jackson, J.J. didn't catch onto it. It was put right in his chest, but he wasn't able to hold on to it.
Aaron, actually, right before that play, I was going to say, you hate to say with 6:34 to go, that this was a must-score drive for the Braves. And now that they've just fumbled this ball, I'm going to call it, Aaron. It's looking quite uphill for Bonner Springs.
It's going to be an uphill battle the rest of the way here in the second, third, and fourth quarter. But if you're just now joining us, welcome to 810varsity.com. 6:34 left to go. Basehor Linwood, number 8 in the 810 Varsity Top 25 poll, presented to you by the Kansas City Command, taking on Bonner Springs. Shotgun formation. Jesse Hiss going to take it as a lone setback. Colin Murphy was a receiver on that play as Hiss took the initial snap. Correction, Tanner Garver was on the carry.
A little wild Bobcat formation right there.
It'll be a Bobcat formation as we're under
Bobcat formation.
Bobcat formation. That's what we'll call it. 29-7. It's been 21 unanswered points for the Bobcat offense. Garver will take it once again, looking downfield. He's going to throw. He's got an intended receiver in Jesse Hiss as he just overthrew him, and he let him on a little too long. Hiss was right about the 15-yard line, reached out to try and grab it. Would have had to been about 7 foot, though, to get that one.
Well, when you're up 29-7, you can certainly try out some new things, and it looks like this wild Bobcat formation, whatever you want to call it, is something a little bit new that they've implemented this week. Colin Murphy actually has a catch this season. He has 1 catch, 1 touchdown. No, I'm talking about Colin Murphy. I know Tanner Garver has played very rarely at the quarterback position.
Murphy takes it and looks far side. Going to throw across the middle. Has Ben Johnson right about the 35. Quickly wrapped up and brought down. Be enough for a first down, though, for the Bobcats as they continue to move the chains. They had a little bit of trouble with it in the first quarter. We thought they were a little bit one-dimensional on their play calling as they're just throwing deep fade routes down the way to Ben Johnson as well as Ryan Murphy. They've gotten away from that, and they've used Johnson cutting across the middle more.
Well, the coaches are sitting right next to us. I bet they heard us.
2 receiver set. Murphy looks far side. Going to throw downfield. He's got a receiver almost intercepted. Ryan Murphy was the intended receiver. He was back in double coverage right about the 5-yard line. 5:45 left to go. Second quarter of play. It'll be 2nd and 10. Ball will be right about the 30-yard line. Play KC's most popular 4-man scramble. Over 7,800 yards. It's the Monster Mash at Dubs Dread. October 7th. Call Dubs Dread Golf Club at 913-324-5005 or visit dubsdreadgolfclub.com. It'll be a pitch to Skylar Ross. Skylar Ross angling right side. Going to be brought down to the backfield. It was J.J. Jackson on the coverage.
Skylar Ross actually made a bad move right there at the line of scrimmage. He was initially going to go right through the offensive line. He had the blocker set up, but for whatever reason, he decided to bounce it right back outside into the waiting arms of this Braves defense.
Ross hesitated a little bit as he kind of sidestepped himself, and he allowed Jackson enough time to get into the backfield to bring him down. So it'll be about 3rd and a mile here on the 3rd down. Murphy looking to throw, going to almost go across the line of scrimmage. The intended receiver was Tanner Garver on the play as he overthrew him by about 5 yards.
And we've talked about this before. Colin Murphy's not that great on the move. He needs to set his feet and make that throw. That time, very nonchalant with the pass. He had Tanner Garver wide open along the sideline. All he did was just flip it very casually with just his wrist. Bad throw, and now brings up a 4th down.
It'll be 4th down, and 13 is the exact yardage. They need to get to the 23-yard line if they're going to get the 1st down. Murphy, shotgun formation, looks far side, looks near side now. Going to break one tackle, throwing on the run, going to throw it. Oh, my, he had an intended receiver in Jesse Hiss, but it was broken up by Jonathan Blackwell, the defensive back. Blackwell was able to jump up and get his left hand on the tip. Otherwise, I could have saw that one going for another Bobcat touchdown.
Great defense right there by Blackwell. Kind of out of nowhere, we saw Hiss wide open 1 minute, Blackwell flashing across the play the other. That's sort of what the Braves need, especially coming off that turnover. And now we are right back at another must-score drive for Bonner Springs.
So it'll be the turnover on down. Bonner Springs needing to get something going. They need to get their wheels spinning if they're going to try and stay in this one. As it looks like we have a timeout on the field. It'll be a timeout Bobcats. Score right here at Beatty Field. It'll be 29-7. 21 unanswered points for the Bobcat defense. Bobcat fans, check out Game Night Special from Simple Simons. A free medium one-topping pizza with a purchase of a large specialty. Yes, a free medium pizza from Simple Simons with a large specialty. Carry out only. Special only good on Bobcat football game nights. Call 913-724-4141. Once again, that's 913-724-4141, and place your order now. Or visit us online at BaserSimpleSimons.com. What was a good game at the end of the first quarter has quickly gotten out of hand. The Bobcats dressed in their home all-green uniforms with green helmets. The Bonner Springs Braves in their road whites with black helmets and black pants. 29-27. What do you think was really the turning point so far in this one?
Well, it appeared that Basehor was starting to care a little bit more. It's sort of a tough thing to gauge, especially out there on the field, but it seemed a little bit lackadaisical, especially in that first quarter.
Jackson handoff will go to JJ right up the middle, works his way maybe for a gain of 2 or 3 yards, trying to wiggle his way for a little more room. Didn't quite have it, though, as the Basehor defense quickly collapsed on that one.
And, you know, I give credit to the coaching staff because they adjusted their game plan. We started them making clear adjustments in the passing game. We've seen them make clear adjustments here defensively as well, bringing more pressure along the line of scrimmage and getting in the face of Jordan Jackson. So give a lot of credit to the coaching staff as well.
Mason Jackson will be the man that goes in motion. Handoff will go to JJ as he works his way, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. He was quickly wrapped up by the Basehor defense in the backfield. Couldn't quite get those big legs turning there for that one. And they're going to say there was a fumble on the play. Didn't look like it. No one signaled it for the Basehor defense, but they came up with a ball on a fumble by J.J. Jackson.
Out of nowhere right there. So we just kind of assumed that the play was dead. Good job by the defense stripping at that ball, going after it, trying to force that fumble. And now they're starting on the plus side of the 50 once again, able to really put their stamp down in this ball game.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weather may be cooling down, but you can still keep a hot tan. Stop into Bass Tanning anytime and keep that glow all year round. Bass Tanning right across from Sonic on 40 Highway. 724-2288, where the beds are cool and the tans are hot. Murphy hitting the backfield, still on his feet, going to be brought up and wrapped up quickly before he had a chance to get anything going. It'll go for a loss of 10 on the play.
Well, that's not going to help. Poor execution right there by Basehor Linwood. Colin Murphy holding onto the ball just a little bit too long. Didn't get rid of the ball. Wasn't able to evade the rush, which he loves to do. That time just coming back to bite the Bobcats. Now we got a very long second down and 21.
Mark Hobson came up with his first sack on the day.
I always believe a long second down or something like this. This is a perfect time for a screen once again.
It'll be 2nd and 21. Murphy drops back, fake handoff to Hiss. Still in the backfield, going to throw on his feet. Has an intended receiver in Ryan Murphy. Oh, and he caught it. Oh, my God. Murphy caught the ball right about the 30-yard line. It was almost taken away by Hobson, who made the sack on the last play.
Aaron, let's be honest. That's not a good decision to be throwing that ball up for grabs like that. But when you've got targets like Ryan Murphy and Ben Johnson, hey, why not? These guys are averaging about 20 yards per catch anyways.
Ryan Murphy using every bit of that 6'6", 221 frame to rip the ball away from Hobson. It'll be first down. Murphy rolls out far side, has a receiver in Tanner Garver on the far side, across the 20 to the 15, or correction, to the 24-yard line.
That's just a great play call right there. Fantastic execution, and just the design is perfect. You have Garver going right underneath Murphy. Everyone's obviously going to focus on Murphy. Did you just see that catch?
That'll
My
go.
God, I would focus on the guy. Just make that play. Easy first down.
The reception by Garver goes for a first down. It'll be first and 10, ball 15-yard line, 29-7 your score. Murphy rolls out near side. Going to throw. Ryan Murphy, his brother, will be enough to get him across the 10 to the 8-yard line. It'll be enough for another. Say it with me. Bobcat, first down.
Oh, I messed it up. That's my bad.
Messed it up, Jonas.
I know you're going to say Bobcat before that, but that time you see what happens when Colin Murphy sets his feet. He has a gun. He just sets those feet, sits in the pocket. He's able to throw a laser to his brother for another easy. Can we do it this time? Bobcat.
First down.
And we'll get it done.
Murphy goes under center. The pitch will go to Hiss. Hiss works back up to the near side. Touchdown, Bobcats. Once again, and they're really starting to pour the hurt on in the early going, as I think they're running out of fireworks on the outside part of the field.
Only one that time.
Only one that time.
Only shooting up one firework.
We had a big firework display before we kick things off here, and it's been all Bobcats here in the second quarter of play.
Well, Aaron, next week, September 30th, they actually go and play Turner. I think it's about time we start focusing on that game, to tell you the truth.
It's been a big offensive explosion as the lead now extends to 35-7. Garrett Kale will come out to do the kicking duties. Once again, of course, we saw a fake the last time out as Zach Hevel decided to keep it himself. Kick will be a high end-over-end kick. It'll go through the uprights and it'll extend this lead to 36.
That's a 29-point quarter right there, Aaron. 29 straight points in the second quarter for the Basehor Linwood Bobcats. Great job by the defense, because the offense can't have this opportunity to score these points if they don't have the ball that often. Good job by the defense. A lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of quick 3-and-outs also by this Basehor Linwood defense. And I mean, 29 points at the quarter, my lord.
29 points, you said it in the second quarter of play on homecoming night here in Basehor Linwood. Things started off with a parade through the main street down. It wrapped around and all the floats now sit on the left side, back behind the goalpost. Look at that. Tyler Ogden will come out to kick this one. He was replaced last time by number 46 in Gage Weiser. So Ogden will kick it. It'll be a squib kick down. It's taken, and it's kind of deflected right about the 50-yard line before the play was blown dead.
Actually, that theory, I don't mind, because when it knocks off that player, it's a live ball, and it's basically a fumble. Who knows what's going to happen if you got a ball bouncing off other players, so they've basically given up the exact same field position. Why not go with that theory all the time? I kind of like that.
2:44 left to go in the second quarter. It's been a 29-point quarter for the Bobcat offense. You just don't see that in high school football. Jesse Hiss will run out of correction. Jordan Jackson will run out of throw to J.J. Jackson on the far side. He works his way trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. For a second there, I thought the Bobcats were on the offensive side of the ball.
Very natural reaction here.
Skylar Ross was on the tackle right there. I'm starting to lose it. I've seen the Bobcat offense out there so much today that I'm just expecting them to be out there every second.
Take a couple deep breaths. It's been a very busy quarter here in the second quarter. A lot of action. Just get your head back together.
I'll try it here on second down. It'll be second and 10, ball 44-yard line. Jordan Jackson, shotgun formation, 4 receivers set. He's got one in the backfield, and that's JJ. Jordan barking out the signal, now looking to the sideline to try and audible a play. Changing the play now, shotgun formation. Going to take it. Jackson, 3-step drop, going to throw long. It's going to be a Hail Mary. He had Stevie Williams. It's almost going to be picked off. Oh, my. Caleb Hiss was the man who also almost picked that one off. It was a deep Hail Mary throw by Jordan Jackson right about the 20-yard line. How about that? Caleb Hiss showing off that he can play some defense.
No, there's that combination right there. Caleb Hiss and Zach Smith. Those two combined have 8 interceptions on the season. You do not want to throw around those two. And if they're in the same area, I don't even know why you'd bother throwing there.
Third and 10, 1:47 left to go, second quarter of play. Jackson looking near side, going to decide to throw long once again. Stevie Williams is his intended receiver. It was underthrown. Did Williams catch that?
You bet. Yeah,
Williams backed up, had to wait on the throw from Jackson, and he caught it. There were about 3 or 4 Bobcat defenders around him on the play, though.
Yeah, but time's starting to get a little bit thin here in the second quarter. We see the Braves starting to hurry up, get right to the line of scrimmage, 1:40 to go. They need to get something going quick, especially as inefficient as their offense has been all night.
In high school football, once the chains are set, the clock will start. Jackson looking near side, pocket still full, going to decide to keep it. He's going to throw. He's got J.J. Jackson right about the 5. Did he get across to the end zone? They're going to be marking out right about the 1. How about that? After a 29-point swing, we're finally starting to see some offensive production from Jordan Jackson and the rest of the Braves offense.
Well, that's what a big play will do. It always is a shot of energy, and that's sometimes why this Basehor Linwood team that has all the momentum all the time. They're able to make huge plays that time, benefiting the Braves on that last play, getting right inside the red zone on one play, and now they're kind of feeling it a little bit.
Follow 810 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter. The rest of the season, we'll choose a weekly winner for $50 gift cards to Best Buy. Nick and Jake some more. Follow 810varsity.com on Facebook and Twitter today. How about that? All you got to do is like the Facebook page or follow them on Twitter, and you can instantly receive a $50 gift card. That seems to be a pretty good deal, don't you think, Jonas?
That's a fantastic deal, and I know my deals. That's one of the best deals I've heard, I'd say, ever.
You do a good job balancing your checkbook?
Well, I have people for that, Aaron.
That's one thing I'm horrible at, is I don't earn enough capital to try and keep up with my spending.
Well, that's why we're here, right, Aaron? We'll work through this together.
36-7, Basehor or Bonner threatening once again inside the 5-yard line. They're at the 2 on a first down mark. Jackson had a nice little throw to J.J. Jackson on the near side that picked up the first down. Jordan will go under center, 3 setbacks in the backfield. Jackson is the deep one. The handoff will go to J.J. J.J. works his way across the near side. It'll be a touchdown. Bonner on the play. We haven't been able to call that in quite some time.
Since their first drive of the game, actually, when here we are almost at halftime. But I think we all knew what they were going to run with there when they had 3 guys back in the backfield with Jordan Jackson. About as power formation as you're going to get, just pure power football, rock'em sock'em football. Able to run it in. That finally stops the 29-0 run.
Mason and Williams help push the pile forward to finally get them on the board. Nate Mitchell will come on to kick it. It'll be wide left. It'll be no good. It looked like Nate Mitchell was a little disturbed right when he got that kick off.
Good news is, though, remember we had an injury earlier in the game. Joseph Dearly was back in, the holder on that play, something we always like to see.
36-13 on the missed field goal attempt. 810varsity.com. If you're just now joining us, you can watch this as well as 25 other broadcasts across the Kansas City metro area. Now you can finally watch and listen to all your favorite high school teams all in one condensed space. You can get score updates, stats, and more. All you got to do is go to the website. And this was something that was never available when I was in high school. I know if the team went on the road, if they went to Santa Fe Trail, they went to Leavenworth, you had to actually go to the game to watch them because there wasn't anyone giving you text message updates. There wasn't anyone updating anywhere on the internet. So it's quite the service now that you finally have for not only the students, but the fans actually get a chance to watch their kids on those road games.
Absolutely. No, we have 2 road games coming up back-to-back right now for the Basehor Linwood Bobcats, and they're 2 relatively, not long, I would say, but they're not close road trips for this Bobcats team. Next week we go to Turner, and then the week after that, a huge matchup against Mill Valley, who's also been sort of running through all their opponents as well. That's a huge matchup, so now that everyone's going to be able to make it to that game, why not sit back and watch it with you and I, Aaron? It's a great technology. Fantastic.
Mill Valley, one of the 14 teams left to be undefeated in the 810 Varsity Top 25 poll presented by the Kansas City Command. Drew Potter will take it across the 35, works his way to the 39. He's wrapped up and brought down by his feet. Jake Phillips was on the special teams play right there, as those 42s and 41s look very alike when they're on the far side part of the field.
Nobody's perfect, Aaron. I understand.
we certainly try to be perfect here on your home. For Bobcat football, not only Bobcat football, we're going to carry some basketball games for you. 20 games is a little much to carry. We might just end up carrying the home basketball matches. You can catch that on 810varsity.com and more as basketball season getting ready to start things up. Murphy rolling out, looks near side, going to throw. Ben Johnson right about the 46 before he steps out of bounds. It won't be enough for the first down, but it'll certainly move the ball a little bit.
Well, the Bobcats certainly have options. They have 2 timeouts. They're right around midfield already. We went through this last week. Are they going to go for it? They can go all the way downfield, or they can take a knee, go into halftime. Well, when you have big playability like the Bobcats do, why not try your luck? Play with those 2 timeouts, try to get into a scoring situation.
1:14 left to go. Second quarter of play. 36-13 is the score. Murphy shotgun formation, going to look to throw on this one. Has a receiver right about the 40-yard line. It looks like Ben Johnson was the intended man. He kind of cut back to the middle part of the field. But number 33 and Jose Contreras, the linebacker, deflected it.
And over these last couple of games, it really seems as if Ben Johnson is the new wide receiver of focus, and which isn't bad. If you have a tight end be the guy on the offense, it certainly opens up a lot more room for someone like Ryan Murphy to run downfield. It'll draw safety away from him.
Bad snap. Murphy going to take it himself. Far side. Gets across the line of scrimmage. First down and more as he works his way across the 45. There was a bad snap where Murphy had to reach his left hand out to the far side just to corral it back in. Decided at that point he might as well just take it himself.
No, very heady play right there by Colin Murphy. As you said, bad snap. He had to make something happen quick. Good job of getting right to the first down marker, then getting out of bounds. Actually got 5 extra yards before heading out of bounds.
Bobcats finally in Bonner territory. Jesse Hiss is alone back with Murphy. Rolling out near side, looking downfield. Going to throw it. Garber reception right across the 40, 35, across to the 33, 32, where he gets out of bounds. And, finally it starts to look like Steve Hopkins really wants to work on that 2-minute drill offense. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of little screen passes to the near and far side parts of the field. Where all like a Tanner Garber or a Ben Johnson or a Ryan Murphy or Colin Murphy have to do is just step out of bounds.
No, absolutely, and we also see the Bonner Springs Braves playing a little bit of a prevent defense. They don't want any big plays, as they shouldn't. They're keeping everything in front of them, but the problem with that is if you're playing too far off, well, you let them make the catch, that's fine. It's a minimal gain. You have to get right up on them and make a tackle, otherwise you're going to step out of bounds easily, as they have been this entire drive.
All right, guys, the weather may be cooling down, but you can still keep a hot tan. Stop into Bass Tanning anytime and keep that glow all year long. Bass Tanning right across from Sonic on 40 Highway, 724-2288, where the beds are cool and the tans are hot. Jonas, you're looking like, you're from Los Angeles, and this is something our viewers don't know, is you're actually a Los Angeles guy, and you're starting to lose a little bit of your color that you gained over the summer,
Oh, my God.
This Kansas weather is certainly probably not to your liking.
Good thing we have that sponsor. I did not realize I was losing my color. You're right. All summer long, I was just standing out there in the beautiful Southern California sun. I was bronzed, Aaron. Let me tell you something. I was like a bronze Greek god. I was looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. But this Kansas weather, the sun starts going away a little bit. I get a little bit pale. I start looking like a ghost, Aaron. I'm glad we have that sponsor.
55 seconds left to go. Colin Murphy going to be rushed in the backfield. Now going to work on his speed across the 40, 35, across the line of scrimmage, across the first down mark. Still on the 10, the 5, touchdown, Colin Murphy. How about that? The senior quarterback has the awareness. He's getting rushed in the backfield, decides just to keep it and run. He rushed for over a 45-yard touchdown on that play.
Yeah, in the books, it's only going to go for about a 30-yard touchdown. The thing is, you said he actually ran about 50 yards to get into the end zone right there. He's going to be feeling a lot more tired than he has to. Very impressive effort right there. Colin Murphy is quickly becoming the leading rusher on this team.
That score makes it 42-13 in favor of the Bobcats, and what really hasn't been a contest since the beginning of the second quarter of play. Garrett Kale will come out to kick once again. The holder will be Zach Hevel. It'll be a good kick right through the middle of the uprights, and there's nothing more you can ask from Garrett Kale than to pin those right through.
And we talked about there's a nice, lovely little 2-minute drill. They got the ball with, what, a minute 40 left on the clock?
There's about a minute 55 left to go. They were just under 2 minutes. They got the ball right at about the 35-yard line, I believe. Or no, they were pinned back in their own 20.
Only took them a minute, though, to score. It is now 43 seconds to go. Again, this very efficient offense. Although, truly, it hasn't been great execution, especially along the front line for this Bobcat team. It's just a spectacular play of these skill position players that Basehor Linwood has, that they're able to get these huge plays in this really a huge margin of score.
Coming into this year, we knew Basehor was going to be a powerhouse. They were going to be a force to be reckoned with. I don't think anyone knew they would have the intangibles that they have this year with a junior and senior-laden team. Ogden will come out to kick, ball 40-yard line once again. The 2 back deep for the Braves. Kick by Ogden will be good. It'll be taken right about the 30-yard line. Crossing backfield, the near side, working across the 40, tripped up, works his way to the 45. Good return right there by Max Roberts.
Now, Aaron, you and I, we follow Basehor Linwood, and we certainly don't know what's going on at Bonner Springs, but Remember, they are not going through this game with their starting quarterback. It is usually Jordan Smallwood, who is actually their leading passer, of course, and their second leading rusher. Now, we don't know why he was suspended. Maybe he was suspended just for this first half. But whatever it is, they certainly have looked a little bit off. The offense hasn't been clicking, especially in the second quarter. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half if they go back to Smallwood for whatever reason. Again, we don't know why or how long he is suspended. But Jordan Jackson and this Jordan Jackson-led offense has really bogged down, if I do say so myself.
He was not starting tonight due to undisclosed reasons by the offensive coordinator and John Hilton. Bonner came into this game 1-2. They had a good win their first week of play against Topeka Seaman. And people, they thought that this team was going to be a little bit more than what they expected. They thought they were going to get some good things out of them. They tripped themselves up in the second and third week of play. But one thing, you obviously got to look at this Bonner Springs team, and if you're looking forward, you got to find a way to fix the penalties. They've shot themselves in the foot so many times today. They had over 10 penalties in the first quarter alone.
No, I completely agree with you, Aaron. Undisciplined teams are never going to do well. If you want an example, say somewhat of a more easier example, think of the Oakland Raiders. Last couple of years, they've actually gotten more talent. They've been pretty well coached for the most part, but they're very undisciplined, and they always shoot themselves in the foot and don't make the playoffs anymore. And I sort of see that with Bonner Springs. They're certainly not as talented as Basehor Linwood, but this game could be a little closer, I bet, if they weren't always shooting themselves in the foot.
Bonner comes out with about 38 seconds left to go. It'll be a quarterback keeper as he's trying to push the pile forward back to the line of scrimmage. Jackson was initially hit in the backfield, just trying to keep those legs moving and keep things going. Bonner coming off a scoring drive where really Stevie Williams made one hell of a grab.
It was a fantastic throw, or not a fantastic throw, a fantastic catch, because it was actually a poor throw by Jordan Jackson. It almost looked as if he was receiving a punt, kind of sat down and received it in that receiving basket, made the catch, got them right into the red zone, but I don't sense that sort of excitement coming out of this drive since they're just sitting on the ball with 2-1 seconds gone.
And with that, the first half comes to a close. It's been all Bobcat offense here on homecoming. The alumni certainly seeing what they like to see. Head coach Steve Hopkins has a pretty good team, and he showed it off here in the first half.
Absolutely. This game got out of hand quick, 29-0 run in the second quarter after it was 7-7 after one. Basehor Linwood showing that the cream does eventually rise to the top. They are the better team. They're showing it. Their defense really pinched down, made life difficult for Jordan Jackson in his first start this season. The offense got a little bit more creative, opened up that playbook a little bit more, and it's certainly working. And now they're just doing whatever they want at will, and it shows in this halftime score.
There was a 7-7 score at the end of the first quarter. Basehor puts up 36 points in the second quarter to lead the way. Your halftime score here from Beatty Field, 43-13 in favor of the 3-0 Bobcats. We don't have a halftime show for you here tonight as we are without our statistician and Ethan Denton. Andrew Hammond is not with us this week at all, so we're just going to leave the video up for you guys so you can watch the homecoming festivities, you can watch the Basehor Dazzlers, and then you can watch someone get crowned homecoming queen. All this and more on 810varsity.com. We'll be with you when the second half begins.
The junior prince is John Ray Bonta. John Ray is the son of Jose and Raya Bonta. The junior princess is Devin Belt. Devin is the daughter of Kelly and Sherry Belt. Our first senior queen candidate is Olivia Cowan. Olivia is the daughter of Paul and Mary Beth Cowan. During high school, Olivia participated in the following sports: volleyball, softball, and powerlifting. Olivia has been a member of the following organizations: International Club, BAD, and Fellowship of Christian Athletes. In her spare time, Olivia enjoys spending time with friends, texting, and playing sports. Olivia's future plans include attending Johnson County Community College with the ambition of going to St. Luke's Hospital to study ultrasound and X-ray technology. Olivia would like to thank her parents for supporting her through high school. She would also like her sisters, Marina, thanks for always being there and sticking up for me, even if I am completely wrong. Natalie, thank you for being the best younger sister anyone could ever ask for. Thanks for all the laughs, Natalie No-Nail. To her friends, she could not thank you enough for everything you have done. Last but not least, Olivia thanks God for blessing her with so many amazing people in her life. Please welcome Olivia Cowan. Our first senior teen candidate, Trevor Hickman. Trevor is the son of Dan and Sue Hickman. During high school, Trevor participated in the following sports: football and powerlifting. Trevor has also been a member of the following organizations: Student Council, National Honor Society, Student Ambassadors, Future Business Leaders of America, and Boy Scouts of America, Troop 169. In his spare time, Trevor enjoys lifting weights, leading the school to greatness, and making the world a better place. Trevor's future plans are to attend Oklahoma State University and major in biomedical engineering. Trevor would like to thank everyone for being supportive of his endeavors and following his dreams. He greatly appreciates his friends and family for all their efforts. I love you, Mama and Dad. Please welcome Trevor Hickman. The second senior queen candidate is Maggie Haddock. Maggie is the daughter of Derek and Sandy Haddock. During high school, Maggie has participated in the following sports: basketball and volleyball. Maggie has been a member of the following organizations: Gangrene, National Honor Society, CareTax, BAD, FCA, and International Club. In her spare time, Maggie enjoys hanging out with friends and family. Maggie's future plans include attending the University of Kansas, majoring in education. Maggie would like to thank her mom and dad for always supporting her, her brother Jake and sister Nicole for always having her back. She would like to thank all of her friends and Alyssa Rucker for making the last 4 years so memorable. Maggie loves you all. Please welcome Maggie Haddock. The second senior teen candidate is Jesse Hitt. Jesse is the son of Drew and Sarah Hitt. During high school, Jesse participated in the following sports: football, powerlifting, and track. Jesse has also been a member of the following organizations: National Honor Society, Student Council, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, International Club, FDLA, and Young Life. In his spare time, Jesse enjoys traveling, skiing, Xbox fishing, and hanging out with his friends. Jesse's future plans include attending college and playing football. Jesse would like to thank Drew and Sarah for being the best parents a young man could ask for. Also to his grandmother Ruth with a pregame text every Friday. You really know how to get us football guys pumped up for the game. Last but not least, Jesse would like to thank Casey Self, Tyler Dickerson, and all the Young Life guys for always being there and all the crazy times we have had. Please welcome Jesse Hitt. Our third senior queen candidate is Brooke Redmond. Brooke is the daughter of Larry and Janae Redmond. During high school, Brooke participated in the following sports: softball for 4 years and cross country for 2. Brooke has also been a member of the following organizations: National Honor Society, Gangrene, and FCA. In her spare time, Brooke enjoys playing softball and hanging out with her best friends, Olivia and Duffy. Brooke's future plans are to attend Upper Iowa University to study exercise and sports science and play softball. Brooke would like to thank her mom and dad for always being there for her under any circumstances, and for driving countless hours for the past 6 years to and from softball games. To her sister Bailey, thank you for your support in everything that I do and for being the best big sister anyone could ask for. Please welcome Brooke Redmond. The third senior candidate is Skylar Ross. Skylar is the son of Matthew and Maureen Ross. During high school, Skylar participated in the following sports: football, powerlifting, and track. Skylar has also been a member of the following organizations: SCA, Student Council, Student Ambassadors, Gang Green, National Honor Society, Young Life, Wildlife, Knights of Columbus, and Boy Scouts. In his spare time, Skylar enjoys playing frisbee golf, hanging with friends, and spending time with his family. Skylar's future plans include attending college and majoring in auto mechanics. He then plans to join the United States Air Force and become an officer. Skylar would like to thank his sisters and brother for all the good and bad advice, to his parents for all their support, to his friends for helping him enjoy high school. Thanks to Sydney Erickson for helping him through every day. Skylar would like to thank his young life leaders, Casey and Robin, and finally to all his teachers that have helped him pass so far, and to Dakota Foster. I heart you. Please welcome Skylar Ross. Our final Queen candidate is Hannah Tush. Hannah is the daughter of Thomas and Angie Tush. During high school, Hannah participated in the following sports: basketball, cross country, softball, and powerlifting. Hannah has also been a member of the following organizations: Student Council, National Honor Society, Gang Green, SAD, CareCats, and SCA. In her spare time, Hannah enjoys spending time with her friends and when she's not busy with sports. Hannah's future plans including playing softball at Eastern New Mexico University and then on to medical school. Hannah would like to thank her parents for driving her to practice and games over the years and paying for batting lessons and also being her biggest fan. She would like to thank her sister for setting records for her to break. Please welcome Hannah Tush. Our final teen candidate is Riley Trowbridge. Riley is the son of Nina and Angie Martinez. During high school, Riley participated in the following sports: football and weights. In his spare time, Riley enjoys playing Madden 12 and hanging out with his buddies. Riley's future plans include completing the Fire Cadet program and going to college to become a full-time firefighter. Riley would like to give special thanks to his mom and stepdad for supporting him, always being there for him. He would also like to give a special shout-out to his boys: Cody Dean, Grant Moyer, Josh Stillian, Chris Blake, and Alex Schumann. Please welcome Riley Trowbridge. Please welcome back to the field our 2010 Homecoming Queen King, Star Steubenroth and Brooke Adams. Tyler is currently attending the University of Kansas studying pre-medicine. He is a member of the KU rugby team and is also completing an internship with the KU men's basketball team. Brooke is currently attending Concord Career College and will graduate in April as a dental assistant. Drum roll, please. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the 2011 Homecoming King is Trevor Hickman. The 2011 Homecoming Queen is Olivia Cowan. Congratulations to Queen Olivia and King Trevor, and to all of our members of the 2011 court. Congratulations.
Somebody's going to go home tonight with $549. Ladies and gentlemen, to continue your halftime entertainment tonight, your Bobcat Dancers will be dancing to Fireworks. Ladies, your music's on.
I'll be back. Give me one. Your Bobcat Dazzlers. Good job, ladies. Okay, we're going to draw for the 50. $549. One of the last one tickets.
Big Dave, I got a roll.
I have the honor to draw the ticket for this winner. Digging deep. Okay, here we go. 2, 7, 2, 7, 9, 9. 272, 799. One up here to the press box. We have a winner. Where are we at? He's running up here. $549. Thank you for supporting the volleyball team. Jennifer Chris won the money. Bobcats. Purchase your raffle tickets for the letter jacket, the merchandise shack. Tickets are $5 for 5 chances to win the $180 value. Winners will be announced senior night here in a couple weeks.
Welcome back to second half action here at Beatty Field. The Bonner Springs Braves will receive as Basehor received for the first half. Score after the half is 43-13. And it's quite the half in which Basehor put up 36 unanswered points, or correction, it wasn't unanswered. Bonner had a late scoring drive in the second quarter of play. Bonner had the ball to end the second half, but they just kind of let the clock die. Gage Weiser will come on the kick. It'll be a high end over end kick. It won't go for much. It'll be taken about the 36, and it was touched by a Bonner Springs player, so Basehor fell on it. Oh my, talk about a good turn of events for Basehor.
Yeah, last thing they needed right now was another opportunity inside the 50 on the positive side of the 50-yard line for the Bobcats. Now just another chance to put up more points on the board, maybe to make it 50. Wouldn't that be something, Aaron? We haven't seen that much since they put up 60 against Bishop Ward two weeks ago.
If you were watching the halftime show and they were presented the homecoming king and queens, Last year's 2010 homecoming king or queen, Stur Stubenrot and Brooke Adam, presented it to Trevor Hickman and Olivia Cohen. It'll be a run right up the middle. Will go across the 35, works his way to the 33. Trevor Hickman plans to attend Oklahoma State University, and I believe they said he will study
engineering.
Yeah, biological engineering. And Olivia Cohen is a member of the volleyball team. She is crowned homecoming queen. So big congratulations to both of them.
Certainly congratulations to them, and I love the bio that Trevor Hickman threw out there. He wants to change the world, and don't we all? But something that could be changing for this Basehor Linwood team is that Jesse Hiss, who's actually a nominee for that, is now just limped off the field. He is sitting on the sideline, appears to be dealing with some sort of injury. He's going to get some attention on the sideline. That is the last thing that Basehor Linwood needs right now, heading into a tough stretch, heading to Turner next week, and then a huge game in 2 weeks against Mill Valley. So we'll try to keep you updated on what's going on with Jesse Hiss down on the sideline.
Handoff will go to Potter as Potter bounces off one defender before working his way back up the middle. He's down right about the 20-yard line. 11:09 left to go, third quarter of play. This one well out of reach so far for the Bonner Springs Braves. It's 43-13. 36 points is pretty impressive to put up in the second quarter of play.
Yeah, and 29 of which were unanswered. Just unbelievable numbers coming out of that second quarter.
Ben Johnson goes in motion. We have a flag on the play. Correction, timeout on the play. There's no flag. I believe it's a timeout Bonner, as they kind of wanted to get situated things as Ben Johnson came in motion, and then the timeout came.
Actually, I believe, I'm looking at the scoreboard right now, it is a timeout. Basehor Linwood just trying to get their stuff together. Don't want to mess anything up here inside the 30-yard line. I wouldn't say it's exactly an important drive, but it looked nice to put 50 up.
If you're just now joining us, welcome to 810varsity.com. You can now follow us on Facebook and Twitter. The rest of the season, we'll choose a weekly winner for $50 gift cards to Best Buy. Nick and Jake's, and more. Follow 810varsity.com on Facebook and Twitter today. How about that? A $50 Best Buy. We can get some more equipment for our broadcast if we do that.
I love me some Best Buy. I always have good video games out. I know FIFA 12 is coming out soon. I love that
We
game.
could get you a headset.
Hey, that'd be something, wouldn't it? I'd love that.
If you haven't seen us at the game, Jonas uses a stick mic. Well, I use a headset to call these games. A little bit easier for me.
Well, you're more big time than I am.
Shotgun formation, three in the backfield as Ben Johnson, the lone tight end, works from the top of your screen to the bottom. The handoff will go to be a quarterback keeper. Murphy right at the middle, breaks one tackle before he's met by a herd of Braves defenders, really, as he tried to push the pile forward, but he was met and wasn't able to do it.
Quick update right now with Jesse Hiss as I'm staring down at him down on the sideline. He's just getting that ankle, the left ankle, re-taped right now. It would appear as if he's not in too much pain. Maybe just twisted an ankle on that play. Again, we'll keep an eye out on the stud running back for the Bobcats.
Hiss was a homecoming king candidate. It'll be a quarterback keeper near side. Murphy busted the A-gap, still on his feet, across the 10 to the 7 before he's brought down. It'll be enough. Say it with me, Jonas, for a Bobcat first down.
Yeah, now we're getting into the flow of it.
It took us a while, but we're working there. Number 33, and Jose Contreras was on the tackle for that. How about that name, Jonas? Jose Contreras.
Does that ring a bell to you at all?
It does. You don't hear that name too often.
You don't know where from, though? Former Major League Baseball pitcher Jose Contreras, former Yankee he's most known for.
Touchdown, Bobcats. Murphy rolled out to the far side, had Tanner Garver at about the 1 yard deep in the end zone, just kind of fell down and caught it. Be enough for another 6 points for the Bobcats.
Do they really still have fireworks left? They
now
have 49
at the beginning
points.
of the game, they were shooting off 2 or 3 with the first and second touchdown. They've since have kind of died down.
They're rationing
I think
out.
they've seen with the offensive power that this team puts out that they need to bring about 60 points worth touchdowns of.
How about this? How about the offensive fireworks that they bring? Yeah?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That one. It's now 49-13. We got to come up with something here.
Garrett Cayley will come on the kick as Zach Hevel will hold the ball. Kick up by Cayley. Good, big, strong, powerful kick right through the uprights as both the back judges signal good. So with 10:01 left to go, third quarter of play, Basehor continuing to pile it on here at Beatty Field, 50-13. And, you just don't see 4A teams really blow other teams out quite like we've seen the Bobcats here this season.
No, there's really only team that I can think of right now. That is Mill Valley. A Mill Valley team that took out this very same Bonner Spring team 48-26, but even then, they're letting in 26 points. So I look at the scoreboard, it's 50-13 coming out at halftime. If you're just looking at common opponents, that should be a fantastic game against Mill Valley, an offensive powerhouse. Both these teams. I'm looking forward to a lot of fireworks. But again, can't look past Turner. Turner, of course, is coming off a loss this week, or last week I should say, to this very same Bonner Springs team. So you can't fall into the trap, though, when you're facing Turner next week.
Gage Weiser, it'll be about a 20-yard kick. It'll be fielded right about the 40. Last time Basehor was able to come up with kind of an onside kick, really. Weiser kicked it really high, but it was able to come up on the special teams of Basehor on that one.
I like that play where they just smacked it off
the
first line of defense.
It was kind of like a line drive play. It hit a player right about the 50-yard line, and the Bobcat defense just kind of fell on it.
No, I'm going to sit right here for a second. I don't want to jump up. I don't want to.
So Jordan Jackson will come on to lead the troops once again here in the third quarter of play. It'll be 1st and 10, ball at the 41-yard line, working left to right, and they got an offsides by Basehor right there. As a young man that jumped a little early was Josh Stillion, the outside linebacker. Stillion jumped as he saw Stevie Williams go in motion.
And if you cannot tell, we were wondering heading into the half, what would the quarterback situation be for Bonner Springs? Well, they've stuck to their guns. It is still Jordan Jackson lining up under center.
Jordan Jackson has a pretty good day from under center all day long. Stevie Williams will be the man that goes in motion at the top of your screen. Handoff will go to JJ. JJ works left side and goes left, still on his feet across the first down mark. Past the 45 of Basehor Linwood territory to about the 43. Will be enough for Braves. First down.
Oh, we're doing it for the other team as well. We're really trying to keep things interesting, aren't we?
We're just trying to keep our listeners involved. If this is your first time watching us on 810varsity.com, my name is Aaron Berlin. I'm joined alongside by my color commentator, Jonas Nordman, who is the other man's voice you hear. Special thanks to our cameraman and Bob Eastman here today, really keeping things looking good for you. The handoff will go to Jackson. Jackson busts through one gap, off one tackler, now to the near side, across the 5th to the 10, the 5, touchdown! Bonner. It looked like he almost got pushed out right about the 1-yard line as he broke through the right front pylon on the right side.
A great elusiveness right there from J.J. Jackson, able to get through the initial line of defense right there at the line of scrimmage, as Basehor Linwood has been doing all throughout the first half. And then once he got into the secondary, not a lot of people could keep up with him, thanks to that great speed of his. Impressive run.
Jackson busted through the A-gap, then bounced off a defender, cut back to the near side, and was able to get all the way in for a 40-yard touchdown run. Nate Williams will come on to kick. It'll be no good. It'll be wide left, right again. That's his second missed point-after attempt here today.
Well, that's the last thing they needed. Those 2 points really could have helped them out. I am being facetious a little bit, but, I mean, you'd like to see the kids succeed a little bit better.
Correction, Nate Mitchell. I called him Nate Williams. I got a bad habit of doing that. I'm almost like those Fox Sports commentators.
Oh, did you see that the other day? The KU Georgia Tech game?
They were calling Darian Miller, I believe Damian, and they were just botching names all over the place. We're going to try and do a little bit better job for you here on 810varsity.com. We're going to try and get these names right because we know that's one of the important things to our listeners is they're able to hear their son's names called. They're able to watch these games in the comfort of their home. And when that name does get called, they want to hear it called right.
No, if I was in high school, if I was playing athletics, let me restart that. When I was playing athletics back in high school, if there was some service broadcasting all the games that I was playing in, or at least watching from the bench, because let's be honest, that would have been a great experience. I would have loved for the announcers to at least be getting my name right, because this really is a great service, and I think we're doing a great thing for the community, Aaron.
Nate Mitchell coming on the kick. He's got pink shoes. If you haven't noticed them, I think they're pink or purple. From this view, they look like a light purple. Alex Jackson, as well as Skylar Ross, are back to receive. It'll be taken by Dalton Mealy. He's right about the 25. Mealy works middle field across the 25, almost to the 30, before he's wrapped up and brought down by Trayvon Mason, linebacker.
Boy, Dalton's really feeling it after that screen pass in the first half.
Mealy's had an early touchdown pass. It was about a 40-yard run off of a little screen pass where Colin Murphy was kind of backing up, just looking for someone to throw. He was able to get about 4 or 5 defenders away from him. Mealy's rushed it all the way up the near side, across the 20, the 15, the 10, was knocked out at the 1, and then Drew Potter finished it off with a 1-yard touchdown run.
And if anybody is wondering, Jesse Hiss did not go back in on this offensive position.
Murphy takes a quarterback keeper near side, busting through one grab, gets away across the 30 to the 32, 9:21 left to go. Third quarter of play. Score after that, Bonner Springs touchdown, 50-19 in favor of the Bobcats here on homecoming night.
Again, I'm just looking down at Jesse Hiss. He's standing up, which is always a good sign, especially since he hurt that ankle. He's testing it out. It's definitely looking a little bit ginger, but his helmet is nowhere near him. I'd have to imagine he's actually walking around on the sideline now. Noticeable limp. I can't imagine he'll be going back in this ball game.
Jonas Norman playing the part of sideline reporter here today.
There's not much to analyze. The Baser should be running it basically the entire time. Well, look, they're going to throw.
High snap. Murphy decides to throw. Tanner Garver across the 30, 35, 40. He has enough for a first down. Almost gets across the 50. Pushed out of bounds to the 47. How about that? Tanner Garver, the man that can also play the quarterback position, hanging out on the far side of the flat. Caught it. Nice little pass by Colin Murphy, who corralled kind of a high snap. It went to his far left. He brought it back down. Had enough composure to make the good throw.
Yeah, but it's a 31-point game. Did he really have to go out of bounds? I mean, really.
50 points for the Bobcat offense. Throw, Ben Johnson, 40. Across the 35, 30, still on his feet. Breaks one tackle, then tripped up at about the 25. Thaddeus Glenn, the defensive back, made the tackle.
And the key to that, stayed in bounds. Great job right there again. They're swinging the ball around the field. We've seen the offensive adjustments as this game has gone on. Before they were just fading it, deep fades up and down the field. Now they're really mixing into these play calls, and it's been a joy to watch, Aaron.
Clock continuing to run here, third quarter. Quick screen pass, Ryan Murphy, 30 across the 25. High side, breaks one tackle across the first down marker, works his way to about the, if you want to call it, the 14-yard line. That's where the market dead will be enough for a Bobcat first down.
We are getting our cohesiveness together.
We're trying to get into the action a little bit more.
It only took our third game together.
The score is 50-19, third quarter of play, 8:18 running clock here. High throw from Colin Murphy to Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson kind of piggyback off the back of, it looks like, number 80.
That's Dooley.
Joe Dooley, the man who was hurt earlier, had good defensive coverage on Ben Johnson. Johnson kind of jumped up like he has done so many times and caught another TD.
It's just very reminiscent. I'm sure a lot of people listening and watching us watch basketball as well. It's basically just a big jump ball. Just throw it up there and have your wide receiver, either it be Ben Johnson or Ryan Murphy, just out-muscle his defender and make the play. Basically going after a rebound, you could even compare it to.
Damon Franklin appears to be a little shook up on the play as we find him limping off the field. He is being assisted by Bonner Springs personnel. That is never something you like to see. This is the second player we've seen from the Braves side of the ball that has been injured. We had Joe Dooley earlier. He actually came back and was on the coverage there, that Ben Johnson touchdown. Garrett Cayley will come out to kick right about the 10-yard line. The kick is up. It's a high kick up over the ends. It'll be good for another extra point. So that makes it 57-19 in favor of the Bobcats. Once again, you're listening in to Basehor Linwood football here on 810varsity.com, and since the second quarter of play has been all the Bobcats. Bobcat fans, check out the game night special from Simple Simons after the game. A free medium, one-topping pizza with a purchase or a large specialty. Yes, a free medium pizza from Simple Simons with a large specialty. Carry out only. Special only good on Bobcat football game night. Call 913-724-4141 and place your order now. Or visit us at BaserSimpleSimons.com. How about that? A nice toasty pizza. You can get after the game and you can get a free medium if you order a large specialty. That's quite the deal.
Aaron, you are really preaching to the choir right now. Pizza, me and pizza go very well together. I would say for sure my favorite food. Why are you playing with my emotions right now? Like
Tyler
that,
Ogden will boot this one. It'll be taken about the 23 across the 25. Quickly wrapped up. Gets to the 30. Let's see who was on the tackle.
I believe that was Dalton Mealy.
Dalton Mealy is the tackling machine, catching another one here in the third quarter of play. Mealy's has done it all, whether it's been on the defensive end of the ball or if it's been on the offensive. He's answered the call each time head coach Steve Hopkins has asked him to.
Yeah, all he does is average just under 11 tackles per game. We saw him with that huge run to set up the Drew Potter touchdown earlier. This guy is, as you said, Aaron, doing it all for this Basehor Linwood Bobcat team, and that's what you really need, especially in high school football. Just a guy willing to sacrifice himself for the team.
15 seconds on the play clock. Jackson, handoff to JJ. JJ works his way across the left side, crosses the 35, maybe to the 36. And it looks like they'll mark the ball dead right about the 37-yard line. Started at the 32, so it'll be 2nd and 5. from Bonner 36. Trying to get into Bobcat territory. They're coming off a nice touchdown scoring drive. Jackson going to go under center for this one. He's got two in the backfield of Mason and JJ. Handoff will go to JJ. JJ trying to bounce off Ben Johnson, but Ben Johnson got right back into the backfield and assisted on that sack. He's not going to get credit on the sack, but he was certainly back there as Dalton Mealy's, the guy whose name we've been calling all day long, got back there in enough time.
Again, Basehor Linwood not caring at all about Bonner Springs passing, just bringing everyone on run coverage. They've brought, it appeared 7 there on the blitz, just making life very difficult as they have all night long for Jordan Jackson.
7 minutes left to go, third quarter of play, 15 on the game clock. Jackson looking, going to drop back in the pocket, quickly collapses, and he's sacked once again. The second consecutive play for a loss. It was taken down by number 34, and Colton Stevens, the defensive lineman, the senior. How about that, whether it's Dalton Mealy's, whether it's
It could be Ben Johnson sometimes.
Ben Johnson,
Drew Potter
everyone
gets in there
is
as well.
rushing the backfield with this Basehor defense. Jackson will come out to punt on about the 4th and a mile. It'll be Skylar Ross right about the 45-yard line to receive this one. He's right in between the two hash marks. J.J. Jackson, kind of a side punt, line drive. Skylar barely catches it across the 50. Angles left side across the 45 to the 40 and into Bonner Springs territory. How about that? It was a long, hard, quick punt off the foot of J.J. Jackson.
Well, he did the rugby punt again, and first of all, it was almost blocked because Basehor Linwood figured out how to defend it, which is run to the side that he's going to be running to. But the low line drive, he wasn't low enough, really. Too much air under it. Skylar Ross able to run to it, make the catch on the run, giving him some momentum. You got to keep it a little bit lower on that rugby punt so you can get the momentum rolling towards the opposite end zone. Not very well executed right there from J.J. Jackson.
So the Bobcat offense will come out once again. Shotgun formation. Two receivers to the far side are Tanner Garver and Ryan Murphy. Quick screen pass over to Garver. Garver catches it. Angles right across the 40, across the 35. Works his way maybe across the first down marker. It's going to be close. 6:03 left to go. Clock still running as Basehor now trying to stay in bounds. They lead this one 57-19. And today, more than anything, you can honestly say it's been a team effort.
Oh, for sure. Usually you say it's just Colin Murphy or maybe the Murphy-to-Murphy connection. We've seen a lot of big games out of Ben Johnson this season.
Handoff will go to Ross. Ross right up the middle to the 20-yard line. That's enough for a Bobcat first down. But there's a late flag on the play, maybe a personal foul or a late hit.
Things are certainly getting a little bit chippy in there. Some harsh feelings between the two teams. I'm not exactly sure where it started, but there's helmets flying off, and there's players pushing each other. I mean, this is the last thing we need in a 57-19 ball game, mostly because it stops the clock. But still, you don't like to see these kids fighting with each other.
Ross was able to take that ball and then run right up the gut of the Bonner Springs defense. He had enough for a first down, then there was a flag thrown right after the play. Once again, if you're just now tuning in on 810varsity.com, my name is Aaron Berlin, joined alongside by Jonas Dortmund for this beautiful, beautiful fall evening here at Beatty Field. The penalty is going to go against Bonner Springs. It was a personal foul on a late hit after Skylar Ross was taken down.
Well, that goes back to what we were saying in the first half. Very undisciplined team, and there's no doubt about it. We've seen a number of penalties on this Braves team, and now someone's going to call a timeout. I believe it is probably going to be Bonner Springs, so their coach can rip into the team.
It'll be a timeout for Bonner Springs. 5:38 left to go, third quarter of play. You know what, Jonas, if I didn't make you hungry enough with that Simple Simons,
how
about this? Ordering Good Sense is now just click and easy with Good Sense online ordering. Just log on to MrGoodSense.com and place your order today. You can do that with any Mr. Good Sense location around the metro area, anywhere you go. All they got to do is be within distance of their store.
I actually had a Mr. Good Sense last Sunday. I was watching some NFL football, with the old buds. I went and got some Mr. Good Sense. Got me an Italian club. Highly recommended it, Aaron. If you ever go down to Mr. Good Sense, which you should, because it's delicious, I would definitely recommend that Italian club. A little outside my comfort zone at first, but I loved it.
Go ahead and go down to Mr. Good Sense for good food that makes good sense. Timeout, Bonner Springs on the field after a personal foul was thrown on the Skylar Ross run. It'll make it a first and goal opportunity.
Well, here's the thing, Aaron. It was a timeout by Bonner Springs, and usually you'd see just the unit that's on the field, like the offensive or defensive unit, go over to the coach during the timeout, get the talking to, get some defensive adjustments. But this time they brought the entire team over for Bonner Springs, and you'd have to imagine their head coach, Lucas Asselin, was saying, boys, get your heads together. I know this is a tough game, but we can't lose our dignity.
It'll be an I formation set, run right up the middle by Drew Potter for another Basehor touchdown, right after the personal foul. That's all you ask for, is to just really go in and punch them in the teeth a little more.
Well,
and they still got fireworks, Jonas.
They still did too, so they're not rationing them out. But they may not want to lose their dignity, but they're certainly going to be losing this game. 63-19. I don't know why Basehor was even throwing at this point. But if Bonner Springs can't stop them, I mean, what are you going to do?
It is 63-19. Garrett Cayley comes on once again for the kick. Zach Hevel will be the placeholder. It'll be an offsides, I believe, on the defensive front from Bonner Springs. Those flags go everywhere before Cayley had a chance to get that one up. Looking forward to next week, Basehor certainly got a test. They go on the road. This is the last home game for 2 weeks. They got two big road contests against the Turner Golden Bear team and a Mill Valley team. Mill Valley, one of 14 teams left undefeated in the 8-10 varsity top 25 poll, presented to you by the Kansas City Command. It'll be a matchup of Call Valley League powers. Basehor going to go on the road for that one. What is one thing Basehor really needs to get in tune before they have that big matchup?
And the other thing is they're actually on the road for 3 straight weeks as they go to Jefferson after the Mill Valley game.
Jefferson, they went to Jefferson last week. That's a typo.
Did they really?
Year. Yeah.
Well,
because they got 4 home games, and that would only.
No one tells
like
me
3.
anything, Aaron. I quit, but I'm back. So, things they need to get sorted out before the Mill Valley game. Well, we've certainly seen that Basehor was able to adjust. That they're flexible, certainly. That they made some adjustments to their offense there in the second quarter. They brought the defensive heat there in the second. The defensive heat, as I said, there in the second quarter. So when they do head down to Mill Valley again, Mill Valley, very powerful offensive team. If they're able, I believe, just to create pressure with their front 4, maybe a blitz with 1 or 2 guys, I think that'll be very key. But it all starts at the line of scrimmage, as we've been saying really all year. If you can get the pressure in your standard defensive formation, keep that high-powered Mill Valley offense down, I think Basehor, will have a fantastic opportunity to steal one away on the road. And what is actually a pretty good home environment, or away environment, you could say.
Fans have really come out in full force here tonight at Beatty Field on homecoming night. But, they are going to have quite the test. They got to go to Mill Valley. They got to go to Turner. Seems like all their tough games this year have been on the road. I mean, they had to go to Lansing last week, and it was a hostile environment. You certainly had to like the way they responded in that game.
Oh, I certainly did. We talked about the fact that they went on the 16-0 run after it was a 7-7 ball game, and then today they came right back with the same situation, 7-7 ball game, 29 straight points. So coming into the season, we were wondering, well, the one time they struggled last year, they lost their playoff game.
Ogden will boot this one. It'll be taken about the 20-yard line. Jumps on it. It might be Basehor ball. It was a muffed kickoff return. And they're going to signal it's going to stay with the Bonner Springs Braves. But how about that? At some point, you just got to pick it up and realize that's a live ball. 63-19 is your score. It's a 44-point lead for the Basehor Linwood Bobcats. Basehor will come out once again standard 3-down lineman. It'll be a 3-4 as Jackson will go under center. Jackson quickly rushed to the backfield by Drew Potter. Handoff will go to JJ. JJ angles left, breaks 1 tackle, 2 across the 30 to the 32. It'll be enough for Bonner Springs first down.
And Drew Potter got right through the offensive line for Bonner Springs right off the snap. He was chasing after Jordan Jackson as he was trying to make the handoff. Jackson somehow able to claw his way through, make the handoff to JJ. But good effort still here in this blowout in the third quarter by Drew Potter after scoring that touchdown.
They're just short of the first down marker. Jackson under center once again on the 2nd and 1. Quickly rush to the backfield. Fumble on the field. And it looks like a lineman Number 56, Patrick Bollard, quickly fell on it right when he realized it was a bad snap.
Someone get a body on Drew Potter. He's creating all sorts of havoc on this drive. Again, bursting right through the line. I'm not exactly seeing where the weakness is. He's just lining up over the center, it looks like, and busting on through.
Basehor is showing the full blitz every time, loading the box, sometimes with 6 or 7 people in there. Drew Potter, the 6'6 figure, stands in there as one of the down linemen. 5 down linemen this time, going to rush one. Jackson quickly back, almost evades the tackle, rushing to the near side, breaks another one across the 30. Won't quite get the first down, so it was a 2nd and 1. It was a 3rd and 3, and now is a 4th and 3, I believe. How about that? How about that Basehor defense showing the force here in the second half?
Well, they're absolutely blowing up the offensive line for Bonner Springs right now. They're wearing on this offensive line that they have been all game long, and now showing really at a time where it doesn't need to in a 63-19 ball game. But they're getting through whenever they want. Handoffs can't be made on running plays. Passing plays are getting blown up before they even start. It's just getting worse and worse right now for the Braves.
J.J. Jackson comes on to punt this ball away once again. Skylar Ross is the lone man back, stands at about the 43. It's a high, good kick taken by Ross, 43 across the 45, works his way to the 50, midside, gets his way right to about where the teeth of the Bobcat are. And how about that? That's appropriate because the Bobcats have been showing their teeth here in the second half.
Hey, that's a good one. It's finally bringing out a little zinger of your own right there.
I'm trying. Trying to show I can think on my feet as well.
Well, you have, and I was very impressed.
The Bobcat offense will come out once again. They lead this one. It's a comfortable lead, 63-19. And we need to work on getting graphics at the bottom of the screen, don't you think?
For what reason?
So people can tell the score.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. So people can understand the time and down. I get what you're saying. But I look out right now. It looks like it's bench player time for Basehor Linwood. Colin Murphy's on the sideline. So is Ryan Murphy. So the point of the game, Zach Hell's in that quarterback right now. Guy I've been very impressed with when I've watched him play.
Quick flag on the field as number 3, Zach Hevel, is the new quarterback. Trips receivers to the near side. That is Caleb Hiss, as well as number 81, and Justin Summers. Correction, Brock Lindsay. I have an outdated roster. Didn't have him on here. Be quickly taken by Skyler. Skyler across the 45 to the 42. Brought down. Gets good yardage on the 1st and 15 after the 5-yard penalty on the offsides call. Gets to the 41. You can hear the PA announcer. 2nd and 6 will be the play. Zach Hevel, the young man, now in there at quarterback. He's a sophomore. There's no sophomore start for this Basehor team. It's all a junior and senior-laden team. Ross angles left side across the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets to the 40. It'll go for a gain of 1.
Of course, Zach Hevel has 1 completion on the season. Of course, that one completion went to Colin Murphy, ironically, for a touchdown. So, great percentage thus far through the season for Zach Hevel. A guy, like I said, I've been very impressed with. Has good poise in the pocket. Throws a very good ball. Great form.
Hevel has seen action in 3 of the 4 games this year. He's for a sophomore. He's getting a lot of time on this Basehor offense. Goes under center this time. He's got 2 set back deep. Ross is a deep back. And I think they might have drawn offsides on the Basehor offense.
Well, that's yet another penalty right there on Bonner Springs. And even though they have been running the ball, keeping that clock moving, just fantastic job by the Braves right there, drawing that penalty and stopping the clock. That is really fantastic work by Bonner Springs.
So it'll be an automatic first down. As you can hear, the fans still in this one, even though it's well in hand here in the 3rd quarter of play.
Students are definitely filtering out, though, at this point.
That's right. We did say 3rd quarter of play, 63-19. They're putting more of a hurt on this Bonner Springs team than they did 2 weeks ago to this date.
On Bishop Orr, that was, of course, a 60-0 ball game. So this defense really struggling today. It's 63-19.
Hevel handed off to Ross. Ross gets to about maybe the line of scrimmage. It won't go for a gain, but it won't go for a loss either, as he just barely works his way back to the original line of scrimmage. Basehor hasn't really faced any challenges here in the Call Valley League play. They opened up against Piper. That was a 38-13 shellacking. Alex Jackson is now in there as well.
Yeah, Jackson getting his opportunity at running back right now. You see the formation they're in. It's a power formation. That's a false start right there on Basehor Linwood, but they're just lining up. You know what's going to happen. They're just power I formation, handing off to the running back. Alex Jackson getting his opportunity, although Dalton Inlow right there probably not making a very favorable impression on the coaching staff with that pretty heinous false start. Pardon me.
Alex Jackson is the third back on this, or is the third back on the depth chart for Basehor Linwood. It goes Jesse Hiss, Skylar Ross, Alex Jackson. Jackson also returns the kickoff for the Bobcats. Hevel goes under center. The lone back is Jackson. He's the deep back. There'll be a fake handoff. Hevel going to take it. He's going to run across the 30, across the 25, to the 20. And how about that? The third quarterback on the depth chart, Zach Hevel, making some noise.
Unfortunately, though, another flag on the play. Sort of in the area of a hold on the wide receiver out there.
Looks like it'll be a hold on the Basehor Linwood offensive line, and that's the second one on this drive. It looks like they've thrown in some second-string guys on there that maybe just aren't as mature.
No, certainly the seasoning on the guys out there is not what you expect out of the guys that we've seen earlier, and it is going to be a legal formation, I guess, on Basehor Linwood. Interesting call, I suppose. Really, at this point, the refs should just keep the flags in their pocket. I'm sorry.
Minute 43 left to go. Third quarter of play, 63-19 in favor of the Bobcats. Of course, you remember the only time we've seen a rolling clock this year. If you're wondering when it needs to get to that rolling clock, I'm guessing it needs to get above 50 or above 60 or at 60, because we didn't see the rolling clock against Bishop Ward until it got to that 60-point mark in the first half. Bobcat offense will come out once again, led by the sophomore, correction, they've switched him out with number 16, Tim Sanders, a senior quarterback who rarely sees the light of day. Fake, it'll be a fumble snap by Sanders, picks up his own fumble, gets it back, maybe gains a yard on the muff snap. Clock continuing to tick, third quarter of play, 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go. The ball's right at about the 30-yard line. Tim Sanders is the fourth quarterback used today, as Zach Hevel will replace him. So the senior sees a little bit of action and then comes right back out in favor of the sophomore prodigy. Tanner Garver, the junior, is the second quarterback on the depth chart for this Bobcat team. Head coach Steve Hopkins said one thing he loves about being here now is when he first got here, Hevel breaks one tackle, throws the ball high, intended receiver was number 42, and Jacob Phillips. One thing head coach Steve Hopkins says what he loves about his program now, as opposed to when he got here, is when he got here, they mostly had sophomores and juniors that were starting for this team. Now you look across the depth chart and you look across who really plays. It's mostly a senior-laden team. One a junior that sees significant minutes, or Skylar Ross, Ben Johnson. It's mostly a senior team. Sophomores don't really get a lot of playing time.
No, and that's probably part of the reason why they have been stomping on teams all throughout the season. They're a seasoned team. They've been through the wars. It's a very talented team. However, they are built for the future, though, and that's really the one benefit of these games getting so out of hand is that these kids get into the game. They see the speed of the game. They understand the physicality of a high school game. It's different than JV. So they're getting their feet a little bit wet, and when these guys start graduating, they'll be ready.
First punt of the day for Ben Johnson is a high booming punt. It goes out of bounds right about the 9-yard line. So the Bonner Springs offense comes out once again. Jonas, what do you think of their productivity in the second half?
Bonner Springs, I mean, they did get the one touchdown on the J.J. Jackson long run, and that was very impressive. Again, same situation has been happening as it was throughout the first half, not being able to really get set in their plays taking too long to develop. Are we having another flag here?
Another flag. I believe they got a false start.
Good Lord.
On the Bonner Springs offense. They'll set them back maybe 5 yards. It might be half the distance to the goal as they look to be pinned inside the 10.
That's one thing. These guys, J.J. Jackson's a very good player, and we didn't get a chance to see Jordan Smallwood play, but however he plays, Jordan Jackson's done very well here. If they keep getting these penalties, they're never going to do anything.
And another flag is thrown directly after the other one. There's got to be over 20 flags thrown in this game alone, and most of them have gone against Bonner Springs. Bonner Springs is backed up all the way to the 2-yard line. The defensive chant starting to get from the crowd. They want a safety right here. Handoff will go to Jackson. Jackson busts through the hole across the 20 to the 25, still on his feet for a 30-yard run. J.J. Jackson from his own 2-yard line busted through the huge gap.
Oh, and Dalton Mealy is down on the field right now. Again, players starting to go down for Basehor Linwood at the last moment when you need it. Remember last week was Colin Murphy getting a little banged up at the end of a blowout. Now this week Jesse Hiss got hurt, and now Dalton Mealy's your stalwart on defense. I honestly don't know why they're still out there, to tell you the truth, Aaron.
And this doesn't look good for Dalton Mealy. He's down on the ground. His helmet is off. His hands are kind of thrust back up against his head like he is in sheer pain. He's still on his back right about the 30-yard line. Last week we saw another scare with Colin Murphy, who was down right about the 50-yard line. That turned out to be just a cramp. But this looks to be a little worse than that. Head coach Steve Hopkins said that last week he didn't want to put Colin back in, but Colin, being the senior leader that he is, said, "Coach, I want to go back in. I want to do this, and I want to finish this game." Colin, what did he do after that? Only rushed for a touchdown.
Yeah, but then he got banged up again on that touchdown run.
Kansas City Command season tickets for the 2012 Arena Football League season at Sprint Center are on sale now. Call 855-KC Arena. You can also play KC's most popular four-man scramble, over 7,800 yards. It's the Monster Mash at Dubs Dread October 7th. Call Dubs Dread Golf Club at 913-324-5005 or visit DubsDreadGolfClub.com. Dalton Mealy is being helped off the field. He is not putting any pressure on his right leg. It's his left side of his leg, if you're looking from our angle, which you are. So he's being slowly helped off. That is not a good sign for this Basehor defense.
That's a crushing blow to this defense.
As he averages, what'd you say, just under 11 tackles a game?
Basically 11 tackles per game, yeah.
It's a big loss on the defensive side of the ball for the Bobcats. Jackson goes under center. The handoff will go to JJ. JJ right up the middle across the 23, works to the 24 before he's met by 3 Bobcat defenders. They'll mark it as forward progress. Under 5 seconds left to go, third quarter of play, and they'll just let this one be blown dead. We'll move. Fourth quarter of play. Basehor Linwood in complete control of this one. 63-19 as we move into the final period of play. We'll have 12 minutes, then our broadcast will conclude.
But there's so much intrigue as who's going to win here.
One of the problems, I think, for Basehor last year when they finally got to that playoff game is you look at these games and they've just completely blown teams out.
Yeah.
The problem has been they don't play anyone in the early part of the schedule.
No, that's a good point, and that's why I think the game versus Mill Valley in 2 weeks is actually going to be good for them. And they may lose that game. And you know what? That may not be the worst thing in the world if they were to lose a game. Sometimes it happens all the time in athletics. Teams, they start feeling very confident in their abilities. They start taking teams lightly, and that's the last thing you need, especially as you head into playoffs, is you feeling too confident and taking an opponent lightly. We see it all the time, all levels of athletics. So for them to get punched in the mouth a little bit against Mill Valley might be a good thing. I'm not saying they should lose. You always want to pick up wins and get as high of a ranking as you can. But I'm really looking forward to that game in 2 weeks. Not that they can look past this game versus Turner either next week, which you can watch here on A10varsity.com.
Still a strong showing of support here from the Basehor faithful as their team comfortably ahead, 63-19 as we begin the fourth quarter of play. It'll be Bonner Springs ball right about the 30-yard line. Stevie Williams checks in as receiver here on the near side. He is joined by number 82 and Mason Roberts. Jordan Jackson goes under center. The handoff will go to JJ right up the middle across the 35, almost to the 40-yard line before the play is blown dead. JJ Jackson has been the lone man that has been productive, really, for the offensive side.
Yeah, J.J. Jackson's been the lone bright spot for this Bonner Springs team. And a quick injury update. I'm looking down at Jesse Hiss right now. He has put his helmet back on. There's no way he's getting back in this ball game. But he is standing up. He's interacting with his teammates. I haven't seen him move around too much. But in terms of Dalton Mealy, they have now taken the shoe off of his right foot. They're now retaping his right ankle. So he doesn't seem to be in too much pain. I would imagine that he'll be back in good shape for next week's game as there's another flag.
Another flag on the play with
Oh
11
my
minutes
God.
23. That is about the 4th penalty in 4 plays for the Braves.
It's about the 40th penalty of this game.
That'll move the ball 5 yards. That one actually went against Basehor on that one, as it's just kind of become the norm for the Braves to have a flag caught on them. 11:15 left to go. Jackson drops back, going to throw it deep. He's got Stevie Williams. Had about a step. Williams. Oh, and I think they're going to get pass interference on the play. Stevie Williams had about a step on the defender. He reached out with his right arm. Couldn't quite corral it in, though.
Yeah, I think Basehor Linwood actually has an argument on this one. The ball looked to be a little bit out of the reach of Stevie Williams. It is indeed a pass interference on Basehor Linwood. However, what are you going to do? The guys are running step and step. There's always going to be a little bit of battling between the hands of the two players. The only call that I could imagine that was made there by the referee, and it's certainly a tough vantage point for us up here, is maybe he was holding back that other hand, because as you said, Aaron, Stevie Williams went up for the catch with just the one hand, so maybe the other hand was being held back. Otherwise, I'm not sure about that call.
That'll be enough for a first down after the penalty. Jordan Jackson lines up under center. The handoff will go to JJ. JJ right through, has a clear room of running, still on his feet across the 20, the 15, 10, the 5, and that's going to go for a Bonner Springs touchdown. How about that? JJ Williams has had big runs of over 20 yards for about 3 times now in this game.
Yeah, JJ Jackson has been, like I said, the best player by far for this Bonner Springs team. Coming into this game, J.J. Jackson had 28 carries for only 152 yards, which is good for a 5.43 average. However, he's obliterated those numbers in this ballgame. I'd have to imagine he's already got over 100. I'm guessing he has over 152 yards in this ballgame, close to it in just this one half.
Nate Mitchell comes on. It's a line drive, point extra attempt. It's his first make in about 3 tries. It makes it a 63-26 game. You know, the offensive side of the board hasn't been too bad for Bonner Springs. If they're playing anyone else besides this Basehor offense, they might be well in this game.
And it reflects in their scores throughout the season. Remember, they beat Seaman, a solid team, 21-17. That Mill Valley game, they got blown out, but it was still 48-26. They were able to put up 26 points. Oh, what do you know? We're right there right now. And then last week against Turner, putting up only 14, but again, that Turner team may be surprising some people this season.
10:58 left to go, 4th quarter of play. Score 63-26 in favor of the Bobcats. They've been in complete control since the start of the 2nd quarter. Remember, at one point, this was a 7-7 game at the end of the first period.
Yep, and again, exact same situation last week, and Basehor Linwood reacting to it and going on to blow out the two teams.
Nate Mitchell comes on to kick once again. Alex Jackson, Skylar Ross back to field. Jackson is on the far side of the left hash mark. Skylar Ross is on the near side next to the right hash mark. They're both back at about the 5-yard line. It'll be a high line drive kick. It's a good kick. Ross takes it about the 6, works his way across the 20. 25, still on his feet, gets to the 30 as he tries to push the pile forward a little bit more. He was brought down by number 23. And Trayvon Mason.
Yeah.
So the Basehor offense will come out once again. They've put up 63 points here. I believe they had 56 at the beginning of the 3rd quarter of play. Is that correct?
I believe it was somewhere around, I think it might have been 50.
New quarterback in. It'll be Tim Sanders as the 4th quarterback on the depth chart. The pitch will go to Jackson. Jackson works outside, then cuts back inside. Gets to maybe the 38 before he's brought down. It won't be enough for a first down, but certainly good yardage on first down.
And Jackson's actually been very impressive in his runs as well. He finds the holes pretty well. He keeps powering on through. Doesn't exactly fall forward much like Jesse Hiss or Drew Potter, but he's certainly got speed, which is always important for a running back.
These Basehor halfbacks certainly have quite the speed, whether it's Jesse Hiss, Skylar Ross, Alex Jackson. They're hard, powerful runners, and you can't forget about Drew Potter either. He's a big full head of steam runner as well.
And don't forget about the man that's basically the leading rusher for this team, Colin Murphy, the quarterback.
They can hurt you in a number of ways. Jackson gets across for a first down, almost to the 50-yard line. He's about halfway through the Bobcat logo right at midfield, as the fans that are still here are still in it, and they're still cheering on this team. It's been a homecoming to remember. We crowned a new king and queen. Stur Stubenrath and Brooke Adams, who were last year's homecoming king and queen nominees, had to pass the titles on to Trevor Hickman, who will attend Oklahoma State University, and Olivia Cohen, who is a member of the volleyball team. They are your new homecoming king and queen.
Congratulations
from
to them both.
Basehor Linwood.
Congratulations to them both. I'm very jealous. I honestly thought I was going to get it this year.
Jonas, maybe you'll have a better chance next year.
I hope so. I appreciate the sympathy.
9:41 left to go, fourth quarter before we finally wrap this one up. It's been all Basehor Linwood. There's a flag on the play, and what do you know, another penalty. This has been a game plagued by penalties, and I believe it's added an extra 30 minutes onto this one.
Oh, at least. At least. I guarantee you that.
Sanders hands it off to Jackson right up the middle, still on his feet, gets back, or it's going to be fumbled and picked up by Bonner. Oh my, Alex Jackson looked to still be on his feet, and then it quickly went back the other way. Oh my.
What it looked like right there is that as Alex Jackson was going down, it appeared as if the Bonner defender stripped him of the ball, just took it right away from Alex Jackson and took off. Sloppy ball handling after our game. So many compliments just a couple minutes ago from Alex Jackson.
Never say never. We could have quite the comeback.
Oh,
Bonner Springs could have quite the
Don't
comeback in them here in the fourth quarter. You might be seeing a Kansas Jayhawk type comeback. Once again, if you're just now joining us, just now joining us here on 810varsity.com, 9:24 left to go, fourth quarter, 63-26, comfortable lead here for Basehor. It's Bonner Springs ball is right now. Jordan Jackson rests in the backfield. Going to have to throw this one away as the heat was being brought on by 3 or 4 Bobcat defenders. Again,
though, some miscommunication out of Jordan Jackson and his running backs. He kind of paused for a moment, looked like a lot of confusion, ran into J.J. Jackson before eventually throwing it out of bounds and still stopping the clock.
If you think we just like to call the name Jackson because we're lazy, it's not. Jordan Jackson is a sophomore quarterback who has replaced Jordan Smallwood, who was out today due to undisclosed reasons. I formation, power set. Handoff will go to Jackson. Jackson right up the middle. He had a 30-yard run in the previous one. Can't get anything out of this one as it was a little bit of a hole that he had. Collapsed quickly.
And pardon me, Aaron, but it looks as if they're going with Trayvon Mason as the running back. A little bit more of a power back. You saw him get a running start on that last play, coming up with a full head of steam, running right into that line of scrimmage, although he didn't pick up too many yards, but much more of a power runner. Bonner
Springs came into this game at a 1-2 record. They won their first and opening day home game against Topeka Seaman, a game a lot of people didn't think they had a chance to win. They proved the naysayers wrong, but they stumbled out of the gate since.
Yeah, I mean, tough schedule. They had to go up against Mill Valley, who we've talked about a couple times in this broadcast. Very good team. Not a lot of teams are going to beat Mill Valley. Probably only one could, and that is this Basehor Linwood Bobcat team. And the game against Turner last week, who knows? Turner may be surprising some people this season. That was a game, though, that Bonner Springs was favored in.
Punt formation is it's blocked by Basehor. The ball was on the ground. It was blocked. You can accredit the block to Josh Stillion, the outside linebacker. Stillion came in and blocked Nate Mitchell's punt before he ever had a chance to get it going.
I'd certainly love to credit the young man with the block, but even though there was pressure up in his face, it sort of appeared as if the punter kicked it right into his blockers right there, right into the behind of his blockers. Just a comedy of errors right now for this Bonner Springs team. It is kind of comical to watch, actually, if you really look at it.
Tim Sanders, the sophomore quarterback. I've been calling him a senior this whole time.
I didn't want to correct you. I felt bad.
I'm very sorry about that. Sophomore quarterback, about 6'2". Him and Zach Hevel have seen significant time here in this one. The handoff will go to Jackson, who works his way up to the 50. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, and we'll move to 2nd and 8. Under 8 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. It's been a slow-moving game, to say the least. It's been a game plagued by penalties, and I think that's the story of it. It's not necessarily the numbers that the Bobcat offense has put up. It's the number of penalty yards in this one.
Certainly, though, I think we can agree that the best team will win tonight, Aaron. I mean, just the execution, the raw athletic talent between the two teams is not even close.
Sanders is tall in stature, is 6'2". The handoff will go to Jackson right correction. Handoff will go to Jacob Phillips, the sophomore running back. Phillips, number 42 on the roster.
Another sophomore getting an opportunity again, sort of built like Jesse Hiss, a guy that can plow through the offensive line, get into that second level, and make the defenders pay.
And it just seems there's quality talent after quality talent coming through this Basehor Linwood system. Under 7 minutes of play now, left to go, fourth quarter, 63-26. 3rd and 1, ball on the 43. Big play here for the young sophomore quarterback. Handoff will go. Phillips across the 30. He's got enough for a first down. Gets across the 40 into the 30. That's a big play for the young man and Jacob Phillips. And what is that? It's a Bobcat. First down.
Another quick injury update. The two main players, Jesse Hiss and Dalton Mealy's, two players that went down with injuries, actually happen to be sitting right next to each other right now on the sideline. I saw Jesse Hiss walking a little bit around, had a very noticeable limp still. I have not seen Mealy's walk around at all, but both of them with ankle injuries. I believe they seem to be okay to play for next week, but don't hold me to that.
Bonner going to show 4 down linemen. Jackson cuts back across the middle, trying to get to the outside. Didn't have anything. Play will be blown dead. It'll be good yardage on first down as it may be a 2nd and 7. It'll go for a gain of 3. 6:10 left to go, fourth quarter of play. Jonas, if there's one thing, if there's anything positive you could say for Bonner Springs moving forward, what is it?
J.J. Jackson. Guy's been by far the best player for the Braves today. Very electric
He's been
runs.
by far the best athlete on the field, too.
Yeah, he's been right up there along with Ben Johnson and the Murphys. Just making exciting play after exciting play, racking up over 100 yards here in the second half.
Sanders runs into Phillips on the handoff. Phillips wanted to go to the left side, thought about going right side, I think was the confusion. He picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd and 4, so manageable 3rd down here as the Bobcats now in Braves territory, threatening to score once again. Zach Hell will line up as a receiver along with number 81 and Brock Lindsay. 2 receivers set to the near side, no tight ends, 2 strong back formation. Handoff will go. It'll be Phillips across the 30 to the 25 to the 20. It'll be enough for a Bobcat.
First down. And this offensive line still continues just to fire off the snap, doing a good job of pushing the defenders back. And the running backs are taking very good advantage of that. Get a lot of props to this second string offensive line. I believe it's the second string offensive line because they're still creating huge holes for whoever's back there as the running back. Oh, are we under 5 minutes? Good Lord.
Under 5 minutes here, fourth quarter of play, 4:55. The play clock right at about 12 seconds. Tim Sanders taking all the time he wants, as certainly the game clock is on the Bobcats side. Handoff will go. It'll go for maybe a gain of 2 as he works his way to the 15-yard line. They need to get to about the 11-yard line, enough for a first down. This one got out of a hand in a hurry after the first quarter of play. Basehor went on really about 21 unanswered points before Bonner was able to put anything together. Yeah, 29 points. It was a 7-7 game after the first quarter of play. Sanders, it'll be a pitch to Jackson. Jackson trying to get to the outside, didn't quite have enough speed for the sophomore back. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and 1 for the 15-yard line. 3 minutes, 56 seconds left to go. Fourth quarter of play. 63-26. This is the highest scoring output for the Bobcats this season. They put up 60 against Bishop Ward 2 weeks ago on this same field. Sanders trying to run with it now. Breaks one tackle, gets to the outside, across the 5. How about that? Colin Murphy isn't the only quarterback that can run. Tim Sanders showing he's got a little bit of juke moves in those legs.
How about Tim Sanders? Looked like he's going to get stopped in the back. Oh, they're really letting those fireworks go now. But it appeared as if he's going to get stopped in the backfield. Able to slither on through, break a couple tackles. Very impressive TD run right there from old Tim Sanders.
Slither on through. I like that. And you can see the big bump by Sanders and the senior quarterback, Colin
You like
Murphy.
to see that. That's always good to see.
You like to see that, and you like to see the starters cheering on the younger guys. This Basehor football team certainly has a bright future after this big class of Colin and Ryan Murphy, Jesse Hiss, and all those guys graduate. Kaylee's kick is high, and it looks to be just left. It was a high kick. It had the distance, just wasn't quite positioned right. Once again, we'd like to welcome you into 810varsity.com. You can watch this game as well as 24 other broadcasts all across the Kansas City metro area. Now you can watch and listen to high school football live. Let's see. The weather may be cooling down, but you can still keep a hot tan. Stop at a Bass Tanning anytime. Keep that glow all year long. Bass Tanning right across from Sonic on 40 Highway, 724-2288, where the beds are cool and the tans are hot. How about that? As the weather cools down, you can still get that little bit of a bronze that you like.
I'm going to be heading down there in just a second. I'm telling you, man.
Jonas, you are starting to lose a little bit of your color.
That's embarrassing for me.
How about that? We still have Bonner Springs faithful in attendance today. They are on the far side part of your screen on that bleacher section right behind the 50-yard line. Gage will come on to kick. It'll be a good kick. It'll be taken 25, bounces around. It'll be taken across the 25 up to the 40. Still on his feet, works to the 41, maybe to the 42. There's Trayvon Mason on the carry. Still get to about the 41-yard line as he gets forward progress. We'd like to thank all of our viewers for listening in to what appears to be a Bobcat win here today, as it's now a 69-26 lead for the Bobcats. Almost 70 points of offensive production, and it hasn't all been by the first team.
No, certainly not. The second team guys have come in here. They've done a good job. But talk about the offensive line. The offensive line for this second string team has been, for me, the most impressive part of what they've done in the second half. Doing a good job of making it very easy, really, for the running backs to pick up huge chunks of yards each rush at a time.
4 down linemen for the Bobcats. Rush will be taken. It looks like a second-team offense is now in there for Lansing. Thaddeus Glenn is the new quarterback. And there's a handoff went to Brian Lanning. Lanning, a freshman, getting some time here in a varsity game. Under 3 minutes of play left to go here, fourth quarter. Thaddeus Glenn goes in, goes under center. The handoff will go to Lanning. Lanning maybe gets a gain of 1 or 2 on the play, but you finally start to realize, the Bonner Springs realizing this one's out of reach.
Yeah, they've certainly thrown in the, I guess you could say, the white towel. They are starting to keep this clock moving as well. You don't see as many pass plays out of them now. No opportunities to be stopping the clock. They just got to stay set. No false start penalties. That'd certainly be a killer. And they're just going to grind out this clock and head back home with at least a little bit of dignity. 69-26. That's about what they deserve after this game.
For Basehor, the schedule gets a little bit harder. Shotgun formation option going to see here to be a quarterback keeper by Glenn. Glenn decided to keep it, almost got to the first down marker. I think they're going to give him the first. Yep, he'll keep the chains moving. They'll stop the clock momentarily. The second the chains get set, the clock will continue to roll. For Basehor, like we said, the schedule gets a little bit harder. Next, they leave home for 2 weeks. They won't be back again for, I believe, a matchup with Tonganoxie, if I'm correct. Correction, Jefferson West. They won't be back here until district play starts. It'll be 3 district play games will be against Jefferson, Tonganoxie, and Perry-LeCompton. The last home game will be against Tonganoxie on senior night. That'll be a very emotional night for a lot of the people in attendance, as they will say goodbye to a great, great senior class. We're at about 9:43 on the actual clock. 1:23 left to go on the game clock, as this game has gone on well over 2.5 hours, as it's been a penalty-plagued game. It's been a very long game, if you want to call it that. Lots of clock stoppage here in this one. 5 down linemen. Basehor going to bring the house on this one. Glenn to the far side, going to rush, going to decide to pitch it. He's got a man right about the 50, still on his feet, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. It was Lanning who Glenn pitched it to.
A little option football right there, old school Nebraska, something you'd see out of the Tom Osborne years. not run exactly to perfection, but good job spreading out the defense a little bit. Again, that pitch off when the time called for, and they picked up a few yards at least.
How about that? We're under 45 seconds left to play.
How
First
about that?
quarter, this one just about in the books. 17 seconds left to go on the game clock. For Bonner, we don't have their schedule for next week, but I believe they host Lansing at home. Lansing was on the road against Piper tonight. Those are two teams Basehor has wins against this season. Must snap by Glenn. He just quickly falls on it. Good awareness by the young quarterback. 20 seconds left to play in this one as the fans start to file out here at Beatty Field. They will leave happy with the production this Bobcat team put out. For Basehor, they will move to 4-0, as I believe that was the last play from scrimmage, as we are now down to 2-1. The clock goes dead. It's a 69-26 victory for the Bobcats of Basehor Linwood. They got a very tough game next week against the Turner Golden Bears, and the one following that one is the October 7th matchup everyone wants to see with Mill Valley High School.
Yeah, but of course, staying with the matchup tonight, Basehor Linwood, best team won tonight. I think that's certainly easy to see by a 69-26 ball game. They can't take this next game versus Turner lightly. They cannot come into it with their chest puffed out. They got to go take care of business, and then you can deal with Mill Valley. Then maybe you throw out the table this game because, frankly, Bonner Springs wasn't ready to play past the first quarter. Again, good adjustments by the coaching staff. I was really impressed by what the offensive staff did. I really love what they did defensively by really hurrying Jordan Jackson in his first start. All in all, the cream ended up rising to the top, and Basehor goes on with a relatively easy 69-26 victory.
For Jonas Nordman, our color commentary tonight, and Bob Easton, who is on the camera, my name is Aaron Berlin. Bobcats win this one, going away 69-26. Check back next week for another riveting Basehor Linwood football game as they travel to Turner in the Kansas City metro area to play the Turner Golden Bears. Thank you and good night.